Okay, there we go. I don't know why the primary server wasn't working. I think it's good now. Yeah, it's good now. Okay. When's the boss going live? I have no idea. Where's the vlog? Vlog clips part 1 were sent to my editor. That should go up this week. Part 2, I have to do the outro today. And then that'll get sent to my editor, so it'll come out whenever it gets done. So my editor has most of the clips for part 2. They have all the clips for part 1. All the drama in the last 24 hours are planned by Tiger Woods. Take some heat off. Yeah, I'm glad Tiger's getting some help, bro. I'm glad Tiger's getting some help because, you know. Definitely someone who's had a lot of surgeries. I wouldn't be surprised if he's, you know, struggling with pain meds out there, you know? Sleeper pick for the Masters. Not even, I have to look at like the, I have to look at like the odds right now. Let me pull them up real quick. Bryson's not a sleeper. He's probably going to be like top 5 or top 10 odds. We were talking about the BZ thing earlier, bro. There's nothing else really to say on it. Like, still do anyone outside of like top 10? I think Justin Rose at plus 3,600 is pretty good. I think Matsuyama at plus 4,000 is pretty good. Goddard at plus 4,300 is pretty good. Adam Scott at plus 6,200 is also, I think, a good look at. Those would be ones I like. You weren't here? I mean, there's not much else to say, bro. The thoughts I put on Twitter yesterday are my same thoughts. Yeah, I'm live.
Yo.
Yo, what's good? Bruh.
Not much.
I know you were, bro, I woke up this morning and I have never felt worse.
You got what I got?
I don't know, but like I yacked a couple of times this morning. Like I'm just functional now to be up and about, but bro, I don't know.
Yeah, I got the same shit, dude. It's gonna be rough.
Yeah, we'll do this show and I might be chalked afterwards, bro.
Oh yeah, I'm getting off immediately after the podcast.
I don't know what happened. My stomach is in shambles.
It's whatever bug's going around, dude. We got it. Awful. It happens every time I go to the UK, and you know I love going there. It's just they stand too close.
I don't know.
Stand a little bit too close.
I think I just got fucking like a stomach bug. Like, I don't know. It's very odd.
I'm sneezing like 20 times a day. I got like a respiratory. I didn't really have stomach problems.
Rafi's in my chat. Listen, the bald photo is a good iconic BENJ photo. I will not be going bald again. It's a one-time deal. And I followed through on it, and yeah, that's that.
Who the fuck's Ray?
What are my thoughts on kick buying FaZe, brother? It's April Fool's. Like, lock in, my guy. Holy shit. come on, dude. Like, it's April Fool's. Like, you can't be falling for, like, all this trick in the book.
Okay, my medicine real quick. Rip this right before the show.
Okay. Guys, we're doing this show in about 20 minutes. But not a long stream today. I literally have tried my hardest to be functional for like 3 hours so we can do this show. I'm going back to crashing for a bit. My body is shocked. But we're gonna get into a lot of topics on the show today. I mean, what's the agenda? Let's see. New maps added rank. You'll talk about that. The new overload rules. Viewership was good. Crowd was good and bad at the same time.
Bro, Ben. I've been watching this guy on YouTube that does like basically just has like a bunch of boats and he just like tours the country and like different lakes and shit.
Yeah.
Bro, I want a boat, dog.
What, just go down to Buckeye Lake?
Yeah, dude, it looks so fun. I didn't realize there were like boat towns, like boat stops and fucking
Yeah.
Shit's awesome. There's a bunch actually in Ohio. There's like he like toured like 3 of them.
I mean, yeah, we can go. I've always been down to go to Buckeye Lake.
We need to go rent a boat.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to Dory about it before. We just never pulled the trigger on it.
It'll be lit, bro.
There's Buckeye Lake. There's also the reservoir. Hilton went there. A bunch of people last time I was here.
Having a boat would be sick.
Having a boat would be sick.
Right? Like,
yeah, no.
Like, that's what life's about. I was watching his videos and I was like, hold on, this is kind of just what life's about right here.
Having a boat in the summer, yeah, no, that's vibes right there. Good place on the water where you park your boat, yeah. Oh,
yeah, that's what I was talking about, Gucci Field. That's what I saw. I was like, this is awesome. Kind of stop, grab some food, go back out.
Is the Elma breach news real? I have no idea. I assume it is, though. I don't think Ronnie would put that out there, you know, without it being very good chance it's true. That was right. Ever since COD players started getting earrings and chains, everything went downhill.
That's not true.
People were getting earrings and chains back in fucking Ghosts.
Yeah, they're just getting real diamonds now.
I think his point though is about like, and Dylan was making it about Thieves. Like Dylan's point that he made on like Saturday, or actually it was Sunday, was that Thieves need to get nerdy again. But they act like they're too cool for school, like they're Dante.
Oh, I mean, whatever that means. But sure.
I thought that was an interesting take out, Dylan.
Don't be like Dante. Dante just won an event. That's supposed to be.
Remember when you said KOI top 4? I mean, I tip it, bro. I don't think anyone saw Toronto getting top 4 this event.
Yeah, I mean, that's just like blind luck, though. Like, I actually don't tip that.
You don't tip them getting top 4? I mean, it was a good run.
No, I tip them getting top 4. I don't tip him gassing himself for saying that they would get top 4. Because their gameplay didn't indicate anything of them getting top 4.
They smoked Thieves. I mean, yeah. I mean, they played really good on Saturday and Sunday.
No, COD players need mental coaches, bro. These guys get to land and just forget what they're doing. It was never like this back in the day. I'll be back.
I mean, but that's why a lot of people invest in that shit, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, one thing that FaZe did the last couple of years is bring in Matt Fisher, chat, and we talked about that a bunch. Like, you got to buy into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, not every team's going to be able to bring in someone like that, a performance coach, because they got to be able to buy into it. But, like, that shit helps, though. If LIT don't go get good next major, they might be chalked. They might be chalked right now, bro. I don't know what. They have a very easy stage, I will say. Like this, they don't play FaZe, they don't play Optic, they don't play Toronto, they don't play Gentlemates. The only like
Thieves aren't chalked. I saw Nissim in a chat there. I was like, yo, good shit, bro. He's like, bro, we're gonna be nasty. Don't worry. Like, he's in great spirits.
I mean, yeah, but they just like, bro, they just still have no teamwork. Like, I don't doubt these guys can shoot, but like, bro, you watch them play and it's just the cohesion is just not there. It was there the couple of matches before they got to the fucking tournament. I'll tell you that. Online looked good.
Is Ray good?
I mean, I'll probably be here in a few minutes.
Got this Lepsom, bro. Shit's godlike.
I'm gonna go get fucking some pho. Get some of that bone broth.
We could talk like shortly about it on the show, but bro, the performance drop off in terms of like playing the game the right way and like being like a good Call of Duty pro team is so much larger from online to LAN, despite online being so much more legitimate because of better connection than the past.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And the only thing that I can contribute it to is probably because these guys don't play as much LAN as we used to play. But there was just not this big of a drop off from like people who performed like this. Like even as far as like 4 years ago, I don't know what the fuck's happening.
I mean, yeah, there are a couple of teams like I wouldn't put like Carolina in this box because they pulled up this event, played a one and done, and like.
Yeah, sure, but Miami, Riyadh.
Yeah, well, Riyadh. Okay, couple of things. Riyadh play very loose and like get away with it online, and then on LAN, it gets away from them. They gotta have an actual different. Like. Yeah, they play way slower on LAN. That's why they stop fucking actually playing at pace when they get to LAN. They literally just camp.
Regardless of whatever all these teams did, all I'm saying is there wasn't like this like it wasn't like this back in the day, bro.
No, there were a couple of teams, but it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? Like almost all the top teams were like yeah, there were always a couple of teams that people like were like, yeah, no, see me on LAN, you know?
These teams aren't practicing the right way, dude. I'm just gonna stand by that. I've been saying that for a while.
It could be some of it, but some of it could just be player tendency, bro. Like some of it could just be players when the lights are bright, just revert. No, it's definitely a piece of it.
These guys aren't practicing the right way, dude. I can almost guarantee you.
And what I'm trying to tell you is it could be both. Like you could be right, and I can also be right. Like yes, some of these teams probably aren't blending down the practice element, but like some of them just get to LAN and then the pressure gets to them. Let's go, Ray.
Okay, yeah, maybe for some of the young,
you sound better.
For some of the younger players, I agree with you, but I think that there's a practice and like whatever some of these teams are preaching and trying to apply is just not the right shit because they get to LAN and their play style completely different. I'm telling you, it wasn't like this, bro.
Are you talking about Falcons?
I'm talking about like just in general, bro. Like the drop off from some teams from online to LAN, like back in the day, just didn't used to be like this.
Bro, Rick, stop, bro.
I mean, I hate to bring it up again, but I feel like a bunch of teams are not playing the game the right way. So,
dude, I know, but like online matches, they'll look incredible. It'll be like pushing pace, like doing
it's because you can
some of the right concepts, and then we get to LAN, and it's like they're just not. And I'm like, bruh, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we talking about in practice?
Where's the ninja?
Like, are we not okay? Like. Even a team like G2, who I thought played like decent, like, dude, they didn't look the same at all. Riyadh, not the same at all. Miami, not the same at all.
Let me send these links.
Like an entirely different team. Like, literally look like a challengers team.
You know what I say? You said send it to your main, usually, right? At the fucking.
Yeah, send it to my main, yeah. Wow, we got so much to talk about. It's going to be great. How you doing, Ray?
Yep.
Me and Ben are both sick as shit.
Yeah, I'm on and off, bro.
Why is this not? What the hell happened to my computer? Support devices. Oh shit!
How many matches per team in the upcoming splits? 5. So
5 with a.
If you look at my page right now, it's gonna make the group seedings pretty hilarious. FYI, but this is my attempt. I built this yesterday. This is my attempt to. I'm assuming. I'm making a couple assumptions here. I asked around the league, and nobody has. Somehow, no one has the seedings for the pro-am groups. It's actually insane. I don't know how it's possible. But nobody seems to have them.
What are you looking for, Benja?
How the pro-am groups are seeded.
Oh,
Nobody knows.
I mean, you could just go and text Spence, and he'll tell you.
I did text Spence, and he still hasn't sent me the groups.
He'll probably get back to you when he can. He was traveling today. All right, dude. You in a new room?
Yeah, I moved my stuff to the baby room.
Right back.
So the wife.
Yeah.
So I don't bother the wife anymore. I got my desk mic back, so
Oh, you're looking good. You're sounding good.
Game.
Let's go.
Up my
dude.
game. Up my game. Up my game.
Up this game a little bit. Okay, so I'm just hopping myself full of medicine so I can be turnt during this episode.
Do you have you have the show rundown or whatever?
Yep, the same Google Doc. It's in there, and then I'll
gotta find it.
share my screen for you. Hold up 1 second.
Google Doc.
Do I sound shitty, or is it okay?
No, you're fine. It's really. I mean, you got a little like throaty sound, but it's really not that bad.
All right, so I'm sharing my screen.
Yes, that regular major viewership. Can we did you start yet?
What's up?
Can we talk about it's a little controversial topic, but can we talk, and I don't really want to like answer it per se, but can we talk about the whole like box better PC shit on the stage?
Yeah, sure. There was I talked with Toronto a little bit on right before the flight back. And yeah, they were basically saying like that shit felt real.
You see the NCAA coach butt heads with a ref?
Yeah.
That was insane.
I've seen a couple of like really.
Dude, that guy looks.
funny
He's
coach
got
moments.
his jacket half off his shoulder. The guy's psycho, bro.
That guy was turned, bro. That's like an intrusive thought. just
Bro, he had to be on something. There's
All
no
right.
he wasn't on something. There's no
All right,
way.
I'm gonna go live right now.
right.
Bang, we're live. And send the thing, and then Ray, can you hold
Really,
up?
what I think I should do is
Ray, can you give me a 10 count?
1,
Real quick.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
All right, you're good.
5, 6.
And Ben, talk real quick.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
You're
9, 10. All right, let me explain my chat real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna have my cam, guys. You're gonna hear
You had a new mic, so
you're gonna hear Ray. Sorry, you're gonna hear end stream for a sec. If you sub or resub or gift during the stream, I'll show you on text. Nah, bro, while we're doing the show. But yeah, we're about to lock in this, guys.
Yeah,
Appreciate
sure.
y'all tuning in.
this shit looks way better.
I'm sure it sounds better, yeah.
Okay. So the reason I think I got sick, one, a lot of people, but two, Ray, where the desk was in the convention center, right above us was the giant convention center AC with like 7 different like air vents blowing right down onto the desk, like right on it.
Yeah, that won't help. But
It
I think
was-
it's more the germs from
Well, yeah,
did you go to the casino?
I did not. No, I stayed out.
You did not? Okay. Well, that's good, man.
But on
Good on you.
Friday, after the show,
I
or
did
not
for a
after the
bit,
show, like during the last match, I walked into the crowd and I took like 50 pictures, like literally in a row. So I always do that at least
Right.
one of the days.
Yeah,
they-
no, it's tough.
Yeah, I always do it, but that one, they just stand pretty close in the UK.
I mean, you need to go. Like, to me, every time I do stuff like that, it's like immediate go to the bathroom. Even when I do it with players, I'm telling my players, like, we're going straight to the bathroom, washing our hands.
I did.
remember
It could
walking
have been
by and
that.
dapping up
Also,
Fred and I
Fred
went,
was
"Oh,
sick,
no."
and I remember walking by and dapping up Fred, and I went, "Oh no."
there are a bunch of people, a bunch of players were sick of the event. I don't know.
I mean, it's kind of inevitable. Inevitable.
I haven't gotten sick after an event in a while, but this one I think is.
Oh, I always get sick after
that
UK
than me,
events.
unfortunately.
I always get sick after UK, but it's always worth it. It's just because you're one shot traveling that you can't sleep the Sunday night. Just because you're one shot literally all of the Columbus production crew was on the same flight. Literally all of the Columbus production crew was on the same flight, and none of us slept. Like literally no. We had to leave at like 5 a.m. Saw Marky B in the lobby though. That was fun. Marky B and Joe Brady. Saw Marky B in the lobby though. That was 5 a.m. in the morning. Joe Brady. Chatted up with them. Big Mark just had twins, man.
Nice.
Big Mark just had twins, man. Because I'm in the stream.
Shout out to Big Mark.
Because I'm in the stream.
Double dad. He one up me.
Yeah. He's headed to Riyadh, bro. On Sunday.
Say what?
He's headed to Riyadh on Sunday.
Oh, is he coaching a team out there for the tournament they have?
Yeah, he's coaching a couple teams. He coached a challenger team at DreamHack, and then
you gotta mute. Yeah, I'm muted.
I am.
Okay.
I just did. And he's coaching 2 Warzone teams. 1 female, 1
Warzone.
male.
Interesting.
Yeah, something like that. I think. I was really tired. It was 5 a.m. So something like that.
Is the echo flex now, guys?
Yeah, I'm muted. It should be good.
What was I? I was gonna look for something. What the hell was I gonna look for? Oh.
Ben, you got some meds, dude?
I mean, I don't need like Dayquil or NyQuil. It's just, I just feel like shit. It's not like achy. It's just my stomach was fucking killing me.
All right, I'm start this up. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
All right. Start recording. Did my shit crash?
I get it. Let's go.
Shit with the 5.
Oh no, OBS might be crashing. Hold on.
Don't like that.
Not like that.
You gotta wait. It's doing like the little loading thing the when I click start recording.
Shout out to Aaron. I saw him. Saw you drove
bro.
to the event. Was able to drive to an event. That's probably a first for you.
All right,
your stream. Okay, it's working.
Welcome to the CoDCast, everybody. This is the Major 2 reaction CoDCast. Me and Ben just got back. We both are kind of sick, so bear with our voices here. We'll make it work. I got some UK Lepsum. I've been told this is the greatest thing. It's basically just like a not as potent version of Theraflu, but it's been working for me. I have like a respiratory thing. I think Ben's got like a stomach thing, but we're gonna make this work. It's gonna be an awesome episode. And I know Ray has a lot of thoughts about the tournament. It was a fun tournament. Yeah, let's start it off with you, Ray. What are your overall thoughts on the tournament? It was a lot of fun.
Obviously, not being there sucked. Got to watch with Tom and Sam and the Flank boys all weekend. It was. I don't like. It's hard to say from here, but it looked like it was one of the better events we've had in a while. Obviously, non-champs event that we've had in a while. Like the Texas majors always bring the heat with the fans, but that event from a fan perspective looked absolutely insane. Especially considering it wasn't like a venue that is like a bowl setup venue. Like they set it up to be a bowl, but it's not like a stadium or something. Like it was just a convention center, like old school COD, and it just the vibes look there. I'm actually like the only I don't want to start with a negative thought, but the only thing to me that was kind of not great about the viewing experience was the fan noises couldn't really feel the fans that much on the stream. I don't know if it's the way they set up mics, maybe they had production issues with that, but that was probably like the only part I would say that wasn't like the best. Everything else about the event looked great, and we saw a lot of interesting matches considering the qualification we just had. I mean, obviously we expected Optic to be finals and FaZe was one of the top teams, but like all the other matchups were just so like, I don't want to say unexpected, but there's a lot of teams that we thought were going to put out that didn't.
Facts. Ben, for you, you had the watch party station. I stopped over there a couple of times. You look like you were in good spirits majority of the show. It was a fun one. And yeah, what was your experience, I guess, in the venue? It was rocking super loud in there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the crowd mics, unfortunately, on broadcast did justice. It was definitely loud at times in the venue. It's also the first venue where I finally had an epiphany and finally got like the perfect noise gate for our headsets when we did the watch party. So that was a good revelation coming out of it. I mean, there was a lot of fans. A lot of people came by, said hi to me and Aroma. We were next to Gotaga and them. And then next to them was Abanaj, like the Falcon Squad. And there were a lot of people, a lot of guests. A lot of people came by. The setups were great. The couch was good. AC they gave us was good. Had a great view from our point, which was just, we were basically like right next to where the casters were. So it was like us, a like space, and then stairs up to the caster perch.
Yeah, we were right
So
there
like
too.
all the yeah, it was really fun. The funniest part is like teams like coming in out of breaks or like walking the stage would all walk by us and just like look at us, like make faces to us, like flick us off. It was very funny all weekend.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, it was good.
no, the event was good. The festival was pretty cool. The challengers area was pretty sick. He did a really good job with the layout of it. I think unfortunately, watching back the broadcast, I think some of I'm not sure if it was a build issue or whatever, but some of the lighting in the venue seemed a little bit off. Some of the audio seemed a little bit off. I don't think the observing, unfortunately, during the weekend was as good as they've had in the past, I'd say. But I think it was a really fun event. I think we should go back. I won't be surprised if when we're back and Adam tweet about it, because they sold out all the beer in the venue. Had some more
Day one, they added
pubs.
2 bars day one.
Yeah. That down the street from the convention center is a venue called BP Pulse Live where Dota was. And I think that we would probably swap positions with Dota next year. Would be my guess if we go back.
Yeah.
What kind of venue was like a stadium venue or?
Yeah, it's like an arena.
What's it called?
Gotcha.
BP Pulse Live.
That's
Did it
It's just you'll put up. It's just a standard arena.
Was the capacity bigger than the venue?
For what? BP for the arena?
Yeah, the arena, yeah.
Yeah, the arena seats like I think 12.
Gotcha.
But
we could have gotten 12,000, I bet, dude.
I think they get 10 for sure.
Dude,
they
Ray,
could definitely double up.
I'm not joking. In the venue, like to Ben's point about the audio. So I think convention centers are just generally more difficult for audio. We were having problems, like even with the casters mics, where like we were pumping the audio so loud of like game and caster in the venue that like their volume was as loud as their volume on the actual stream. The audio mix is just always weird at convention center. Production tries to figure it out. But
gotcha.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, dude, we could have filled up. I mean, if they opened it up, I bet you we could have got 4,000 or 5,000 more people, bro. It was so packed in there. Like I'm talking, there was a queue in the concession line and all the bar lines. It was every seat was filled, and then the right side, like when you enter, we had the whole hall, and then the other half of the hall was the war zone on Sunday. Dude, Sunday was a movie in there, dude. It was so cool. Like walking back, like how Ben mentioned it, like on the back of the convention center was like the desk and the casters, all the watch parties, and then the coaches' dugouts were below the desk and the casters, right below us. So I'd see all the coaches, say what up to them. Players are walking by, and then other side was Warzone. So when the Warzone players are in between, they'd all come back, and I'd chop it up with some of them. It was just a really cool like Call of Duty festival, is what it felt like. So DreamHack's great. Bands got a little bit wild, I will say. One thing I'll say about DreamHack events is
that much alcohol going on is kind of normal now.
Yeah, but one of the incidents was like people weren't drinking at that point. Like it was just people being pricks. But
yeah, I was gonna say like some of the fans were going at it. I saw something with some of the mates fans, and yeah, it was just getting wild. And a lot of people didn't clean up after themselves. So if you guys come to events, let's take care of the venue and let's clean up a little bit. But aside from all that, it was definitely a super positive experience. And I saw DreamHack got announced for Birmingham again. So I'm assuming next year that would likely be at the top of the list for returning. But yeah, we got some housekeeping stuff to talk about. First thing on the docket before we get more into Major 2 talk is there are new maps coming to ranked play. So there is for Overload, Utopia and Gridlock. For Hardpoint, we have Saki, Gridlock, Clifftown, which is a remake of Yemen. And for S&D, we got Fringe, Plaza, and Toshin. I will say, ultimately, CDL decides, and the team, Spence and everybody on it, doing a great job. And they actually reached out to some ex-pros. It's like me, Joe, Dill, Sam, Jay, some other people in the chat, and kind of just giving our feedback on what we would like. And I really like the maps that they added for the evaluation period. And I think, I can't speak for them, but I think the plan is to just add and not remove unless there's like a technical issue with the map, like exposure, which maybe they might remove because of the frame issue. But we can talk about that. But yeah, I think the plan would be to just add, which I think is a good thing. And also I like that they're not tripling down on maps, which is something that I have been very vocal about. I don't like when there's a map for all 3 modes and then we see it in the series 3 times. I really dislike that. And then the last thing, I saw some people talking about Hacienda. I just don't think we should add it back as we had it for 3 modes last year. That's kind of my take on it. But yeah, let's kick this over to you, Ray. What are your thoughts on them first adding a bunch of maps to ranked and then the maps that got added?
First off, I'm a little butthurt that Spence didn't ask me. He asked everyone else. What a bitch. Not kidding.
Ooh.
I mean, I could just add you to this chat, by the way.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm just kidding.
1v1 golf chow for a job.
Yeah, there you go.
Excellent.
Oh, shit. How much
Let's just say that's a really big step in the right direction. I will say.
No, it is 100%.
And this is awesome.
Like jokes aside, I think it's the right place to test these things out too, because you get a feel from the community, you get a feel for what plays well. It gets everyone talking about these maps, which is a good start. I'm a little surprised to see Meltdown Search not in here, to be honest. I thought that would play pretty decent in this game, but maybe not. I see the first thing I want to react to is what you said about 3 maps being in all modes, like a map being there for all modes. If a map is really good, is it really that bad of a problem?
Yeah. I mean, well,
Really?
I think the thing is that if we have an abundance of options, which at this point, because we didn't add anything in stage 2, we do, it just doesn't feel necessary to add a map for all the modes. And when there is a map for all 3 modes, you do see a lot of reaction of like, what are we doing here? This is boring. This and that, the third. Like, you see that a lot. And then to the ranked experience, just from playing a lot, I have over 500 games of ranked, getting the same map over and over, even if it's in different game modes, is not fun. So I think that definitely matters.
Is that a product? Because could that be a product of the maps themselves not being so fun? Like, again, like I'm speaking from experience here. Back in the day, if I would play Black Ops 2 rank play and I got raid hardpoint every single map all day, I would be mad about it. But maybe times are different. People will change their mindset on certain things. Like maybe that's just me. But I think that just reaction to this in general, though, I think this is great. Like, I think the idea of adding new maps. You said the mentality is to add maps, not replace maps.
I can't speak for them, but just from like the discussions that like I've had and kind of been around, I think like it's better if we just add maps, and I think that might be where they're leaning.
Put a wrench at vetoes, no?
It would, but there's ways for them to work around that and figure that out. I mean, we've had games where we've had more than 5 maps.
Yeah, that's
in each
fair.
mode.
My take on it is that I don't like us having more maps just to have more maps. I feel like the pool should, obviously we need a certain baseline of how many maps we have, but we should have only maps that are good in general.
Yeah.
Like maps that pros don't want to play right now, or maps that just don't play well, or like, for example, like if exposure is still having frame rate issues, like that shouldn't be a thing.
Remove it. Yeah.
Then you remove it and you replace something that actually is functional.
But the idea,
good.
Ray, is to have more and then trim down from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. No, 100% agree. Like we shouldn't like restrain ourselves and just say, let's just add 1. Like we can add 2 or 3 from the start and then whittle down from that point, because these maps are better than next map. Like 100% agree.
Exactly.
Like the goal should have the best product possible from a playing and viewership perspective. Like we shouldn't stop ourselves from trying stuff out for that.
Yep.
And as we've talked about at length on the show, I think part of the issue is that the league has never had a consistent process how they evaluate these things. I'm glad that they're starting to seek outside help from former players, and like actually making progress on it. But that's been a big impediment. It's just a different criteria every single year. Players involved, players not involved, getting rid of the lowest big map. Like they just keep switching up every year, and hopefully get more consistency on how they do it.
I will say right now, Ben, I don't know if this will remain the same going into like IW and other studios, but right now the league has a really good relationship with Treyarch, and the ability to like obviously add and remove maps like that from ranked and change stuff on the maps, whether that be like a overload point or a bomb location. So I think we're in a really good spot, and Spence is in chat. He's doing a lot of really awesome stuff. So show him some love, guys. And I think we're going to have a really good second half of the season going forward, especially with just the abundance of options that we currently have. And hopefully some of these maps the community falls in love with. But yeah, we're moving towards a way better process. W Spence in the chat.
Yeah, but he didn't come by and say hi to me during the
Spence
event.
heard me talking crap, so he just came in and just
Spence did not check in with me at the event, bro. I'm a little sad, to be honest.
He's moving around, dude. Big Spence, man. He
just said the process to remove a map this year is the same as last year. So are we saying it's the least played map? Is that what it, like last year was?
Yeah, what is the
whichever map was
process?
least? I mean, maybe we can get an answer out of him just so, because you said something, so we could figure out what that is. But
well, that would probably be Blackheart then, because we didn't even play it. I mean, but exposure is having issues, so I'm cool with just removing that.
Yeah, I mean, a map that has performance issues should never even be a thought of being played. I don't care how good it is. Like that's a problem in its own way.
Yeah.
Unless there's a fix coming. But yeah.
So yeah, that's that. We had a change to. We'll wait for Spence's answer if he's still here. Then we had a change to overload. Let me pull that over here. So we'll start with you, Ben, on this one. Overload changes. They're changing it now to where time to beat overtime rules. Where like you score and then they get the same amount of time, like CTF OT basically, and then it pauses before OT. What are your thoughts? Because my instant thought was like, damn, I kind of like sudden death.
Well, so there's two pieces to this. So let's talk about the OT part first. I think sudden death was hilarious to watch, but it's like very. I don't think it's the most consistent way to find a winner in that mode. I think you want to reward the best team, and I think stopwatch would do it. You know, you can't play super defensive. You want to score quick on that first side, put the other team in a position where they got to rally quickly. So I think that's a W. As far as the round time thing, pausing, I think that's a good add. I just think they may have to adjust the round timer itself so that the maps aren't going 25 minutes. Like you got to get that sweet spot at like 12 to 15 minutes. Because right now we're at 10. So I like them bumping up a little bit.
That was what was great about Overload is that it could end quick, right?
Yeah. I wanna address what Spencer sent in the chat. So he's talking about the map pool thing. Combo of least played and leftover percentage. Tiebreakers, if there's one that would be a map that's more in the mode to help variety. If there's a map issue for sure, that would be on the block first. But like, here's my thing, Spencer. It's all great, but like, I think having a rigid criteria for how you guys evaluate the map pool is not the particularly right approach. Like, those are good data points to look at, but it should be a collaborative like decision because it's a very subjective thing. I'm glad you guys are considering all those pieces, but like, I hope you guys aren't like super rigid and going 1, 2, step 3, and like that's how you remove a map instead of looking at all the data points and making the right call on what's best for the game.
I would tend to agree with you, Ben.
In a situation like we did last year with what happened at Rewind. Like Rewind last year was a good map. It just wasn't played early on because it was so one-sided. Teams hadn't figured it out yet, so everyone was shying away from playing it because they didn't want to pick it because of how strong his side was. But it was still a great map. It would end up being a great product for the league towards the end of the year, and it ended up being one of the good maps in the game. So I think that's you got to take that into consideration as well.
Yeah.
No, Spencer, we are saying we want the same process, but what I'm saying is that the process shouldn't be a rigid checklist. The figuring out what maps are best fit is I think fairly at times subjective process. And I think you guys can do a good job of looking at a report of different data points to make the correct subjective decision, whether that's you or multiple people or whatever. I think that's the point we're trying to make. Like if you're just like, oh, least played, it's just map. Like you then miss out on the data point of like, well, Rewind was actually a solid fucking map. Nobody wanted to play it because they didn't know how to play fucking P3.
Yeah.
There were 2 ass.
Yeah, it could be like 3 really strong teams at a map and other teams just aren't good at it. Yeah, like there has to be some sort of like discussion as well, not just 1, 2, 3, get it out, which I'm assuming they have. But yeah, we'll see going forward. There's definitely positive news though.
I agree.
For now, this is great. Hopefully ranked play, people are enjoying it. And then the other part is I think the M15 and Dravik are both getting nerfed. I don't know if you guys saw that. I didn't pull up the link for it, which is great.
One thing at a time, man. Let's talk about Overload.
Back to the Overload. Ben spiraled us back to Spence. Ray, your turn with Overload. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think this is good for the mode and for the viewing experience?
So the OT rule, I mean, what we had is I would compare it to like the penalties in footy, like in big matches. Like the ending doesn't really reflect the actual like game itself. It's not completely different, but the parameters of winning an actual Overload game are way different in overtime. It becomes way more like search and destroy, very specific movements, and you're almost in a way playing TDM where it's almost best not to make actions at certain moments. So to me, changing the OT rule from a playing perspective, definitely more expense. You could argue from a viewership perspective, it was super entertaining before because it would create these like really crazy moments that just have a very final say on who wins that map. But I could see why, if I was a competitor, a coach in the league, I would be pulling my hair out watching that.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be very difficult.
But man, when it comes to the
Yeah. I mean, it's fun to watch. I would argue it's not fun to play. From I think the bigger one is more the time at which the time doesn't go down anymore when a team has possession of the ball, which I'm actually curious to know how it's going to work out. Do we know all the like? Is it purely just that? Maybe you can speak to this. Is it purely just Team A has ball, the time literally stops moving?
Yeah, that's what it says. It just freezes.
I assume that's what it is. Yeah.
I mean, bro, like, can we not have a game last forever now?
Yeah, you could. You really could. It could literally be like 20, 30-minute games. That's why we might have to. Okay, so that's exactly what I was going to say. Spence just said, in my opinion, landing at 2.5-minute round timer makes the most sense with no possession. I 100% agree with that. We do not want to have game threes being super long like that. And
I don't.
It becomes like,
Sorry.
it becomes weird. Like parking the bus, I guess you wouldn't do anymore, but you just keep the ball like in your area, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, why would you do that if you have a lead? Then you're just gonna like.
No, but you can like, but yeah, I mean, that's saying that then I'm like, okay, so if I have a lead, then I just want the ball to be dead.
Yeah.
Like, because then the time doesn't move if they have the ball.
And I'll just keep killing.
Maybe I'm just like speaking to what the thought process was a month or two ago when everyone was complaining about the park the bus thing. But like, how many park the bus have we seen recently that have actually like worked and helped? Like, it's really just if you have a big enough lead end game where you're just trying to buy time, not necessarily just keep the ball away from your team. I mean, I guess the same senses, but we haven't really seen it that well executed or in a position where teams can actually do it all that much for me to be like the big reason for it to change. Because that would be the main thought process for you're trying to prevent that. You're trying to prevent a part of the game to me that isn't really been that big.
Well, the new spawns already like help that part of the game, right? Like when we had the spawn change.
Yeah.
Like park the bus hasn't been as effective.
Because teams started spawning the spawns ended up being way more further up when you had map control. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Like it's going to create a lot of new different mentalities, and there's going to be different ways to exploit this. Only time will tell what those will be and how better or worse will be. But I don't know. There's something like now ball possession per se. I mean, it still matters, but again, I don't know. I guess we got to wait and see how this plays out, because in my brain, it's not really. I can't really see how a game will unfold if a team, let's say, like Optic's playing C9 and Optic has the ball 90% of the game. The clock just doesn't move a lot of the ball, so then C9 never gets a touch. I don't know. Yeah. So something about this just doesn't add up in my brain.
I think what it could fix is like it fixes the inevitable, like to an extent, like if you're down 4-1 with 2 minutes left, like it's very difficult to come back situation. But I agree with you, Ray. Like, I'm very curious how possession is going to work now with these rules, and let's see if it's for the better or for the worse.
Well, it does sound like overload would just be like, at least with the way the spawns are now, which kind of fixed the park the bus. It would just be good if we just had the OT change and just the same rules.
What I'm hoping for is that this was a setting that they changed that we can change back if tested and it doesn't play well. Because all these, like, this is a pretty big change to the mode. Oh yeah. Like, obviously it doesn't change how the mode works itself, but like the timer on things and how teams will manage how they go about playing offensively, defensively in that sense it's a pretty dramatic change, at least just from a first thought of how this could play out.
Well, like I'm just thinking like a Scar, where it's like balls down plane. We just keep killing for like a minute and a half and just like sell out to like get to your base and just keep staggering your push. Where it's
we have the MVP in the chat. Twin, did you test this out already? Did you guys play this at all or no? MVP, by the way. Doesn't that sound good, Twin?
Yeah, I think we'll get
being referred as the MVP, my man. God,
motherfucker's gonna have 60 kills. I mean, it definitely diminishes
on the map, bro.
It definitely diminishes like device control, if like for sure. Especially like now that I think about it, because if we don't want to have the really, really long maps, right? We don't want to have long maps, and we do go with the 2.5-minute round timer, and you go up like 2-0. I mean, assuming there's like a minute 30 left on the clock, you could just kill her the rest of that side.
I mean, yeah, that's it. Just changes the dynamic in the mode completely, which I don't know. Like I honestly thought the product that we saw last event from Overload, like at least for. I mean, honestly, that spawn change happened to start at Major 2, right?
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like, I really didn't see an issue with the timer itself. Again, we didn't really see the ability to park the bus was way different and way harder to do. Yeah. And the teams and honestly, for the most part, the teams teams that we saw try it actually got penalized for it in some ways. Like if you're up, like let's say I'm up 3 caps and I get the ball in a minute, like I'll run it back just to buy time. Sure, you could argue like the game's basically over at that point. It didn't feel like the parking aspect really helped all that much. Is basically what I'm trying to get to. So I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Only time. I don't want to be negative about it. Like time will tell. We haven't played it yet. We haven't seen it yet. So obviously we're just making assumptions, but it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah, we gotta be honest. So that's kind of our thoughts there. But a lot of positive stuff so far, a lot of changes, and clearly a lot of cooperation between the league and Treyarch, which is great news for the second half of the season. But let's get into Major 2 talk. Let me pull up this bracket. Where do I have it? Well, first off, before we get to bracket, Major 2 year over year from last year, up 64K in the peak and up 28K from Black Ops 6 Major 2. Ben, thoughts on the improvement in average and peak viewership? Seems like COD's moving in a pretty good direction so far.
Before
this year.
Ben talks, we got to put a small asterisk on this because of the team that was in the finals and that wasn't there last year.
Fair enough. But Koi versus Mates, 182, baby. Come on now.
Yeah.
I'm now, baby.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Ben,
I mean,
thoughts on
I
this?
think this graph kind of shows what are really like 4 of the 5 biggest. Well, there's like 6 big draws, I think, in COD right now. FaZe, Optic. Toronto has really stepped up in the last couple of years. They've been a big draw prior to like Gentlemates and Heretics joining. Those 2 are big ones. And Thieves. And like there's a lot of combination of those teams. There are a lot of watch parties going the whole weekend. Like Gentlemates, for example, I know Gotaga wasn't on all the time, but they had their stream was live start to finish.
Yeah, they were there.
All day. So
They were working, man.
so I think, this is why you're seeing like a percentage up from last year. Yeah, I know peak and average is down from Major 1, but that's just the general trend anyway in COD. Like Major 1, when it's in January is sort of the peak, you get a little bit of a decline in 2 and 3. I think 4 will get a bump and then champs. So I think this is all good news. The biggest question for me is like, on the side of Activision, ESL, FaZe, like how they do a better job going out to brands and sponsors and saying, yo, like there's interest here, because them being able to figure out monetization for the league from a production standpoint, and then the trickle down that would have in softening the ground for teams is like really big in trying to make everybody at least revenue neutral across the
Also,
league.
I gotta say, dude, our live experience has gotten a lot better in the last like 2 years. Events are fun to attend, like legit. It's a lot of fun in these buildings, bro. Matches are good. Players are having a lot of fun in the interviews. Like we have a good live product. So yeah, that's good. And now let's talk about the tournament. So this is the final bracket, how everything resulted. First things first, we're going to talk about Toronto, the Koi. I had to eat crow on the Koi. I thought they were going to bomb out. I'll be honest. Insight with the crowd buff, a completely different player. My boy Jamie was shooting. And Koi, I mean, look at their run. They beat the Surge. They got slapped around by Optic, but that was like Kip's first big match on the main stage. So I remember I talked to Joe the next day and he was like, dude, I expected this. Like, it's his first big match, like up against Optic in front of that crowd, like whatever. And then after that, Kip's was the same Kip's we saw online, like a really good player. Kleenex had a good tournament. Jamie had an incredible tournament. Like just showed that he still has it. And he was playing some inspired Call of Duty. They 3-0'd the Falcons, 3-1 the Gentlemates, 3-0'd the Thieves. Ultimately fell to FaZe in a 3-1 fashion. Ray, we'll start with you on this one. Koi's run, unexpected for you, and what were your thoughts?
I mean, I think we'd all be lying if we had expected to make Sunday with how things have gone recently. I definitely think Kleenex and Insight, like we all know Joe and Kips obviously showed up online and played their game, and Jimmy was obviously lackluster in some moments. And I feel like Kleenex hasn't really been doing bad, but he hasn't been like the Kleenex we know and love is like just a game changer. And I feel like this event really saw him kind of pull through and just do some of the things we expect him to do on a daily basis. So it really, to me, it was a product, and as most events are, it's a product of all 4 players playing up to their level and be like that they know they can play to, and then finding ways to outslay teams and winning that way. Still kind of, I'm still going to stick out on them a little bit for just, again, the way they approach the game in sense. Like it's just when they again, we can talk about the Kips thing with the Optic match, but just Optic still is, to me, the team that plays the game in a more efficient, superior way.
Yeah.
That will make it very difficult for teams to beat them. And we'll get to the way FaZe beat them in the finals a little later. But no, they showed up. They played good COD, and even I actually want to give them props for the match against FaZe in the Illusions final. They easily could have won that.
Oh yeah.
Like those were close games. Like, bro, like if you go to especially the way the den ended, they had like a 3v2 advantage on the P4 when the game was kind of down the wire. I don't know if you want to go show that clip. That's actually a good clip to talk about. But
yeah,
I mean, they just kind of slowed down at the wrong moment where they had the chance to kind of put the game over.
Right,
just go to like two. It was like 230, 230 or something like that on the P4, the very last P4.
Right.
Keep going towards the end. Well, this is kind of worth watching in my opinion. Just full screen it too after you're there.
Gotcha, buddy.
So they separate on the road, they kind of mess it up, and then here they're gonna break in and they're gonna get numbers here in a second. That's the next push, I'm pretty sure. They're basically one break away from winning the game.
This was an awesome
right.
This is an awesome map, by the way.
So right here, Joe. So Joe gets 2. They have numbers to push through here. Well, actually, Joe gets 2, they're spawning. Keep playing.
I just want to say I remember
This
this detonate was incredible, by the way, Ray.
Yeah,
It actually was a really good detonate.
It probably is one of the main reasons why they did slow down, to be honest.
Yeah.
But like you look at it from a perspective here, like they get 2 dead. Here's your advantage. Here's your chance to go and make a play to win the game. And then they all just kind of slow down and just end up getting picked apart.
Jamie probably needs to just commit to the chow here, like, because he has help.
I mean, again, it's all hindsight, Nancy, because like the nade obviously puts a big wrench in this, but like this is how close they were. This is how close they were to win map 1 against a team that ended up winning the major.
Ray, they just missed their nades. That's all. Look, I mean, so Booza drops a dead nade, so Joe can't go. Clean X nades the back, and so does Insight. I mean, it's kind of unlucky. I mean, they really did. They team naded it, I think. Let me go back again.
Was there no, the trophy popped it? It just blew up in front of a Booza,
no, the trophy's gone. Look, here comes the nade. Look. Jamie's nade right here. The next nade right here. Both nades miss. That's just unlucky.
I mean, I still think it's
Yeah, they did miss. Okay, I know. I see.
It's still a situation where you have the chance to win the game. Yeah,
Oh,
like
they
even
can
here,
still
like,
chow here. Yeah,
like you have, like whoever's watching Pinch, for example, it's number 2. Kips is watching Pinch here. Like,
just go.
Pinch is irrelevant.
Yeah, just go.
Like the game's about to be over. If you push front and they pinch, then you're gonna win the game anyways, because they have numbers on the front even more than you did before. So
just
again, this is obviously like super like tight moment situation. It's easy for us to see, but more so to me, just the idea that it had numbers. Like to me, I would fully expect the team to push through and play to win there. And it's just more so bringing this up because this is how close they were to winning this map. And if I remember correctly, most of the maps in this match were pretty close. So
yeah,
it's what it comes down to, man. It's like if you have 4 guys showing up that are playing good COD, you have a chance to win these tournaments, regardless of what the side stuff is in terms of how you go about doing things.
We're gonna get to FaZe, but this guy had like a takeover map in like 4 of their series where
Jordan's insane, bro. Booza's nuts.
Look at this stat line, bro. What the fuck? This is
he did on an exposure too. I can't remember who it was, but
it was their first match, I think, or it was versus Thieves, maybe. I don't know.
I think it was against Thieves. Yeah.
Jordan is, I mean, extremely biased, guys. I know he was on my team last year. I love the kid. He's a brother. We spoke to the French, but he will be a superstar whenever at some point in time, whenever people start giving him, or once he's proven more of what he's capable of doing, which obviously he's proven plenty already, but once he starts doing it consistently at this level, I definitely think he's going to be talked in the same lights of the top ARs in the league, more so than he already is. Just incredible takeover, super high IQ for the game, great teammate, great communicator. Just like he has very, very small, like honestly, like the one thing that I could, and this is maybe he's gotten better at this already this year, but the one part of last year I would speak negatively towards him was how he uses stacks. Everything else about how this guy goes about doing things is incredible.
He's unreal.
He's just an insane player and a good dude. So
we'll get to that though. So save that stuff. Ben, you talked to me a little bit about Toronto's run. What were your thoughts? Definitely took me by surprise, and Ray as well, as he talked about it.
Yeah, I mean, because we were watching them online, and like again, they picked up where they were at with the overload online in stage 1, and their hardpoint was solid, but like they were just really poor at S&D online. Pre-kip change, post-kip change, and so I was a little worried going to this event because it's like, well, if the respawn falls off and S&D is fairly consistent, we've seen from Landa online, like I don't know. They pulled this event and they played really good ball in all 3 game modes. They got individual contributions from everybody. I know Kips had a bad series against Optic, like first play, whatever. Jamie had a great event. Like, I think we finally saw Toronto play towards close to their potential. The problem is with Toronto, and I think this is probably more of a next stage combo, like, is it similar to last year where this team is just like they're good enough to get third, but they can't figure out a way to get over the hump and get in the final? Because I agree with you. They could have won. They could have won this series against FaZe 3-1. Both the hard points are very close, and they won the S&D. So
yeah, I mean, I think, you know, to that point, it's just hard to win. Like, you know, like when you get to Sunday and you get to these matches, I mean, it comes down. We just watched it, right? Like, it comes down to they hit those nades, or they chow that a second earlier, or the Abuza dead nade doesn't stop them that long. Like, you know what I mean? It's the smallest, like, little things you go back in hindsight, like, damn, you just kind of need the ball to like fall your way a couple of times, right? You definitely do. For them, just didn't happen in that match. But overall, I thought, Ben, this was awesome progress for them. Like, definitely warrants keeping the roster. And then also, like, you just got to figure out a way to keep this brand of Call of Duty consistently into online. Because before this event, they were sitting on the outside of the top 8. Like, they were, you know, 9th, 10th. So, yeah, the search definitely has to become a little bit more.
I mean, their search was good this event, right?
It
like,
was.
yeah, no, it was definitely
But, like,
this event.
shockingly, like,
yeah,
better,
I mean,
because
that's a big.
it's been 2 years.
Yeah, that's a big one. I mean, again, like, this is, like we talked about, and we need to talk about how you were calling heads here, because you taking all the glade when you were right, and you gotta take a hit on this one, brother.
Well,
I need to hear it.
Well,
I'm not
listen.
saying full on apology, but like, we need something out of you here.
Well, here, this is what I'll say, and I texted you this, I think, like 2 days ago. If Insight plays like this is the result that you'll get. Like, if Insight plays like this, Toronto will be a good team. We just need to see this consistently. But to be fair, my main gripe with Toronto, Ray, and you know this, has been their search and their defense in S&D. I thought it was awful. And now here's the thing, though. When you go back to how they played in this tournament, their retakes way better, playing way more aggressive. I thought that, you know, here, let me go back. I think it was this. Was it the one versus Thieves? No, I don't think it was this one. It was an exposure S&D they played where they were just retaking A, thunderously playing aggressive. I'm like, I just haven't seen Toronto play like this in 2 years. So if they keep playing like that, then yeah, I mean, I'll straight up apologize, say they got it. But I just don't know if they have.
Yet is what you're saying.
Yeah, in their search. I mean, they had a great tournament. I'll tip the tournament. But, like, is it a flash in the plan, or can they keep this going consistently? I hope they do, because I really like that team. And I do think all the players are great players. But yeah,
I still think they got a step to take in terms of team pace to, like, sustaining this. Like, I mean, I'm not saying it's not like they outslayed teams by a billion, but like it's going to be hard, and it's always hard. Like, we can, I'm sure we'll talk about Miami here in a bit, but like, in the same way that Miami was having 4 players show up and play well online, like, that kind of level of like performance across a team is not an easy one to reach consistently.
We warned everybody about that, bro.
You need to be able to fall back on proper, efficient way of playing COD at certain times where the slang isn't there to still have a chance to win some games. And I'm still not convinced they're fully there, but this is obviously a step. Like, confidence is a lot. Like, confidence plays such a big role into team success these days, and this is obviously going to help them a lot in terms of confidence. So I'm fully expecting them to push forward and have some better showings in the coming times, launching off this one.
This was it. So let me go back as we talk about this, because this is like my actual, like, when I talk about Toronto's S&D, this is kind of my problem that I have with them, and they like fixed it here in this match versus FaZe. You notice, like, FaZe just like love getting bombs down, bro. This is how they played all weekend, which is a great way to play S&D. But I thought that would be super problematic for Toronto, and they were just retaking, bro. Like, this is how I want to see them play. More buddied up, not super on one side of the map. Like, they're kind of playing mid here and just getting information and reacting. Like, just a better brand of S&D by the Toronto Koi. They have to bring this into the online stage. They just have to. Like,
they were getting a lot of picks before they were in situation to retake. Like, the 4-on-4 retakes are not easy to do.
They're not.
Obviously, it's not the biggest disadvantage in the world.
But you have to put yourself out there a little bit. But like, look at this, right? This is something they weren't doing. Like, okay, bomb's getting ready to go down. Let's fucking fight. You know what I mean? Kips takes some initiative. He's got some help. Like, when we would watch their search online, they just weren't doing this. They'd be across the map. Like, they were letting bombs go down. Like, they just weren't They weren't
No, I feel
contesting.
you. No, I agree. I mean, it definitely it's going to be a way more consistent play in the game, and it's just based on how we see teams having success. It is the brain of COD that you have to be able to play at this level nowadays to succeed. So
Yeah. 04, I see you in the chat, brother. Zach's was talking about Zach losing his one. 04.
I mean, there's the smoke. He's just talking about the smoke.
It's
Twin.
just absolute comedy gunplay, bro.
It's fine. It's
Twin, I
fine.
was worried for you guys in the final because when this map popped up, I thought Optic had seen what they needed to. You guys were just like selling out to plan A every round. I thought Optic was going to bully y'all, but you just you pop take, Twin. You gave bomb over to Simp and you just started running it down. So that was a nice adjustment by you guys. Whatever y'all talked about, you said, "Nah, you get the bomb." Go.
Nah, first round of them in that Optic series is clinical. The fucking 8-3 pinch and 04 played the Divas corner of all time. It doesn't get checked and like.
Yeah.
I thought the last round was incredible from FaZe in the finals. The way they ended the tournament.
So we're gonna watch a lot of VOD from that. So let's keep it pushing so we can get back to that. So I'm gonna start with you on the next topic. Congratulations to Toronto Koi. I'm gonna start with you, Ben, on the next one though. LAT's run. Should people or should LA Thieves fans be positive or negative about? Wait, where's this at? Sorry, I'm sick. I'm all over the place. Give me one more second. We gotta watch this.
Yeah, give us the benefit of the doubt to our vibes today, chat. We're doing the best we can with the.
And I'm on medicine, so yeah.
I slept like 3 hours
loopy
last night. So
does this not have audio? What the?
Oh, this is great, by the way.
Oh, I don't have audio. Where do I get this clip, bro? Chat, can you guys link me this clip, bro?
I'll find it from the stream.
All right.
I got you.
Yeah, laid back.
I'm glad Jamie did it. I felt shitty in the pick'ems, and then I saw Jamie walk out with the England flag in the series against these. I was like, oh shit, I should have picked fucking Toronto, bro.
Yeah, right.
I knew he's about to get a home buff, bro. It's so fucking shocked.
Somebody link this clip so I can pull this up for the audio
What day
listeners.
was it on?
This was on Saturday.
Sunday.
Sunday?
Sunday.
No, it was Sunday, right? They put Thieves.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Was this against Steve? I thought it was against Gentleman that he did that.
Yeah, because he said, "What do we think of Gentlemanmates?" It had to be at post Gentlemanmates.
Yeah,
Oh, it's Gentleman's. Okay, yeah, so it's Saturday night.
Saturday, yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on? Computers.
But if you want to talk about Thieves while you figure this out, I mean,
go ahead.
You know, I don't think top four is a terrible placing considering what happened last event. I do think, though, if you kind of watch their games this weekend, like, I just think they're still a ways away on the team ball. Like, the teamwork is just still, like, it feels off to me compared to some of the other squads. It feels still too much like ISO, relying on people to go off individually. And, you know,
Putting a chat out.
I think the first...
Pause real quick, Ben.
Yeah.
Hold that thought. Wrap this one up real quick with Toronto.
You guys have been amazing. England flag out today for everyone. But I've just got one question. You ready? What do we think of Generates? What do we think of shit? Thank you.
He hit that. Thank you, bro. Hold on. Let's run that back real quick.
What do we think? Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, the scenes in here were glorious, bro.
It's so sick.
Shout out to Insight, man. He deserved that moment. Freaking awesome.
Yo,
moment.
pause. And I brought this up in the watch party. Why is this kid holding this beer like this, bro? I brought this up in the watch party. What in the dude? Like,
This kid's
what is this,
12.
bro?
This guy's like, he has to just be, what's the legal age? 16? He's on the dot, bro.
I think I can.
That's a double. I had one of those on Sunday. Like, it's a double point. It's not a small beer. I'll tell you that.
That is a diabolic
Boy,
way
take
to
out
hold
container.
a beer, by the way. This is why we're all sick, bro.
That's funny. What a great moment though. That was sick. That was so sick. I love it when players get the crowd rowdy with stuff after a match. It's so much fun.
That was super sick. But yeah, congrats to Toronto, man. Really happy for those boys. Once again, I saw them on the flight on the way out. They were in really good spirits, taking a couple of days off, enjoying this break, enjoying the win. Yeah, let's move on to Thieves. Ben, should Thieves fans be happy or sad about the performance of their squad at Major 2?
It's a mixed bag. A mixed bag in the sense of, like, they got top four, which is important to keep somewhat level of pace, but they didn't beat any of the teams in the top three, and they were, you know, the fourth best team in this tournament. I think the FaZe series is a big missed opportunity after FaZe scam map 1 and clinical map 2 out of Thieves, and they got bopped on the overload. I think the score hard point was close, and it was all FaZe in the S&D. Like I think that was an opportunity for Thieves where they could have gained some early momentum. And I mean, you take a look at like the Miami victory, that was pretty good. The G2 victory were good. Like those are wins and teams they should consistently beat. But then they pulled up on Sunday, and it's just they just were not there on Sunday.
Scrap got fried on Sunday, bro.
It's just rare, bro. Like this is a team that should just. I just think they're getting better individually at this game a little, but like the teamwork is nowhere close where it needs to be for them to win the event. So, kind of my takeaway.
I'll agree with the team aspect of things. I think again, like me and it, like, and we've been competing forever. Like we know how these events can go. If you don't have like an advantage on how you go about things compared to another team, and you don't show up as much as they do on a day, like if their 4 players show up and play well and yours don't as much, then you will lose those games because you have no other avenue to win a game.
Yep.
So it's just, to me, that's just more a product of what it is. Like if you look at the stats on the first match against FaZe, didn't Thieves outslay FaZe? Am I crazy?
Well, they blitzed them on the first 2 maps, like super blitzed them. So it was
no, FaZe had a big lead in the first map. They blew. When it was a team killed.
But like the second map was like 6-1.
Yeah, they whomped on the second map, and then FaZe really turned the corner.
Yeah, I could go all the way back and find it.
Pimp smoked them in the overload.
Oh yeah, the first map that was the comeback, but Scrap had a good one there, and then out of nowhere, Scrap just 2 out of the last 3 maps just wasn't Scrap.
Yeah, map 4 was close, and I think FaZe pulled away.
He had a couple of maps this weekend, bro. My boy.
But like someone saying Classy Ben not giving Thieves prop for the comeback. My problem is like we need to hold this Thieves team to a higher standard. Like they are not a team that should be happy just like getting top 4. Like this is a team with too much talent, not be in winner or losers finals. And I know every team can't do that.
You have to look at individual maps, Ray, because like because the map 1.
I mean, even map 1, like they won it, then they got slayed. So it's like technically they definitely played better ball there towards the end. Obviously, FaZe made a few mistakes, but. See, that's kind of like, that's my take on things, and I hate to be this guy, and I don't want to take anything away from anything for any kind of performances, but it does still feel like Optic is the team that's playing the most efficient ball. Like we'll get to the finals here in a bit, but the way this match went specifically, like I agree. Like I mean, Thieves had this, I don't want to say in the bag. Obviously, like it's you can't. Coming back for getting reverse swept isn't out of the question, especially how good FaZe played all weekend. And obviously FaZe was the championship winner, so obviously they were the team that was playing the best that weekend. So it's interesting to see and take in the comparison of Thieves to the other top teams right now. I definitely like it. If you look at the roster again, like we can talk about this all day. This is an obvious take, but like these guys should be placing top 4. Should be the very worst they should place on a weekend.
Especially because Nissim is like really fucking good at Call of Duty.
Yeah, he's been showing up.
Like if he wasn't good, then maybe you could be like, there's. But nah, like he was, in my opinion, in the last series, the one I was just showing, and I said this on the desk, he was their best player in the series versus Toronto, where they got 3-0. Like that dude was fighting, bro. And I actually thought that he was like better on land than he was online. I have nothing but good things to say about Nissim, bro. Kid's really good player.
He definitely belongs. That's like if there's any kind of doubt about it, like let's put that aside right away. Like he belongs on a top team for sure. I don't know, man. Like it's just a tough, like, what's the way forward for these guys right now? Like it's a sense of, obviously it's been lackluster so far. They haven't really done anything that we expect this team to do per se. Like it's even the games that they are winning, they're not like convincing to a point. Like we saw them win a few online towards the end of the stage where it looked like they were kind of picking up their pace and starting to play in a more conducive, like team-based way. But
it's just inconsistent.
I will say the Miami series was very clinical, but I couldn't tell if that was like because Miami just didn't show up.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Like, I think, okay, then that's a better way to put it. And then said the word consistent. I think that's a better way to put it. Like, dude, it'd be stupid to say these guys don't have it in them. We know they do have it in them. It's just a matter of like putting it together on a consistent basis, so they never have these kind of like loose losses that we don't expect them to have.
Let me ask you this, Ben. To me, and I'm curious your take on this. You always have kind of a good takes on these types of things. Does it seem like this team just has no resolve? Like when they go down, when they lose a map, or like they go down like in the series, it seems like it's kind of like GG's, bro. That's kind of
who's the leader of this team?
Can I stop that conversation right away, bro? We saw him come back from like 120 points down to FaZe in map 1. Like,
Okay, but then you're up 2-0.
I think it's way harder to come back in a single map than in the series itself. Like the
Yeah, but they
resolve
unacceptably no-showed on Sunday though. Like that is
I know
I'm
that-
sorry,
but-
the
but-
Sunday performance is unacceptable.
but also-
COD is a day-to-day thing, bro. Like Toronto showed up. Like it's not like Thieves didn't show up at all. Toronto clearly showed up to play, bro. Like they beat Thieves.
Yeah,
they
but I
almost,
think- but
you could
Ray, I
argue
think
could've-
that
They had the
comeback-
opportunity, bro. Like
Right.
they didn't take advantage of the opportunity against a Toronto.
But I think that
team.
comeback that
just
you're using though is the
doing-
exception and not the rule to this team on the season. When we've watched them for half a season so far, and that hasn't been the case with this team, Ray. Where they've had the ability to like go down and come back and like rally back. That's not been the case for this year.
Yeah,
Ray.
I don't know.
That's got to be the
really
exception, bro.
Like it to me, it's just the amount. Like, I mean, yeah. If you want to talk about leader, I guess you can go there. It's you guys keep going on that point if you want, but I just think it's criminal to speak on that sense just because of the players they have, and they've been in many situations before that they've had to come back in series, and clearly have had. Like the only player we don't know of this is Nissim because he hasn't been in the league very long, but every other player's been
He
in
was
these instances
hooping,
before
though.
and have been able to do that.
He was the one who had the most composure on the team.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm more so speaking of the other three have been in situations in their career many times, and they've won plenty of tournaments, being in situations where they've had needed resolve and have gotten to that point before.
Okay, so let's ignore
Listen, I just-
let's ignore the
go ahead.
comeback. Sorry, Ben. Well, I asked you this question. I don't know why I'm answering, but I just want to say this one thing to Ray. Let's ignore that one comeback on that map, though. How many clips have we seen of Thieves of just like ultimate collapsing throughout this year that we brought up on this show of them like in a good situation
Way too many.
and just throwing it away?
Yeah, I mean, definitely more than not, but still, I don't know.
Here's my thing is like I want to be optimistic about Thieves, and they also have the world's easiest split coming up. If you want to go pull up who they fucking play this split, they're getting the second seed unless they suck, completely suck. I mean, it's unbelievable who they have this stage.
Is it that easy?
Oh yeah, it's bad.
Uh, major.
I think for them it's
Oh wow.
Yeah, Miami, Cloud9, Vancouver, Carolina, and G2.
Yeah.
they don't play Optic, Gentlemates, FaZe.
They don't play
Toronto.
any. None of the Sunday teams at the major.
So we
yeah,
can't
that's
evaluate
definitely-
Thieves until the minor bracket, I guess. Really.
I think
But
he's still like that's the thing for me is like I would want to see them play the level we saw them play like in the matches that they have played well, like the Miami match, for example, or the last few matches online leading up to the event where they were like consistently doing things well, or even this like I know it's taking a bit out of a map, but like the second half of that Den Hard point they played against
Yeah.
FaZe, like they clearly have it. It's just a matter of like we want to see it repeated to a point where the other stuff doesn't show at all.
Yeah.
Like if they can, it's easy to say yes, it's a lot of ifs and buts, but if they can get to that level, we're not having any conversations negative about this team right now.
100%.
yeah, but the
Yeah.
problem
this
is
team is
it's
competing
been
and
five months and they haven't been able to do it. And like
Yeah,
I'm just concerned. I'm concerned that like everybody on this team, even Scrap and Paco, like they are people that get set up. They've been on teams where that like leadership, that work ethic drives comes from somebody else. And like I'm just curious who is driving that on this team. If it's the coaching staff, like that's not enough.
Like
you
should be
relying on
Abe,
the coaching
right?
staff to just. I don't know who it is. If someone wants to tell me, let me know. I'll be fucking curious. To be
I
honest.
mean, we don't know what's going on in camp.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're just there's no point in making like random assumptions about things.
Yo,
We have
Ben's
no idea.
hilarious.
No. Because I know you love to do this, Ray, but like it still stands that our biggest concern with this team coming in, we talked about this on previous shows, was that we weren't sure how the pieces were going to fit together. It might be an awkward fit, and people have to self-sacrifice. I still haven't seen them yet like do that. Like they default sometimes to the hero ball play style where they just don't play at the fucking 8 pace that they can actually play at that we saw online and in like the Miami series.
Bro.
Like that inconsistency is really annoying. We saw from Toronto last year.
Look
The
at
last
this
year's Toronto team
roto,
was just-
bro. This is helping your point, Ben, because you're right. Like it's like you just see them crumble in these spots where it's like I don't know what's going on. I don't know who their leader is. We can't speak to their camp because we're not in their camp, so there's no point to speculate. But yeah, I would tend to be on the side of Ben here that yeah there needs to be somebody in that camp that can step up and be a leader going into these series, especially on LAN or going into a Sunday. Because I feel like that their resolve is not as strong as some of the other teams that we have, namely Optic, FaZe.
Kenny says they all speak, by the way, but like that can be both good and bad. Like I feel like this is, and I'll be very candid because people have been on this roster before, have talked about this for a number of years. Unfortunately, Thieves have had number of like chemistry issues across a couple of different teams have, I think, yet to be resolved. But like I don't know if that's happening this year. I have no idea. But like I want to see, especially this stage with how easy it is for them going into the program. I want to see Ernie and Paco step up and become the leaders that we expect from guys that are all stars, right?
Yeah.
Like, drive the engine of the ship, lead by example, because this team has got all the tools to make it to a final. Nissim was a great pickup. And it's not even just about the in-game with them. Like Niam's comms are really good. They're
Really
actually
good.
excellent, to be honest.
Really good.
And like they've got all the pieces to make it work. So I want to see them like actually get the ingredients put in a fucking pot and make a Michelin star dish.
I will say progress isn't linear. You know, progress is up and down. And that being said, LA Thieves have made progress. They have. And the fact is the result in the placing. Fact is the improvement in, you could see it, the improvement in the online qualifying stage. And to all that point, I did catch Nissim in a chat. I don't know. I don't forget whose chat it was. I think maybe it was Zin's chat or something. But he basically saying like, we're going to be good, bro. Like, trust. Like, we're confident. We feel good. So that's the one thing I saw from a Thieves player. And the fact that he's confident is fantastic. That he's their rook. And he can continue to get better. You know, so we don't know the ceiling on a player like him. He's brand new. So Thieves, they have an easy split. They could go 5-0, and you know, we'll be able to evaluate them after the minor tournament probably. But yeah, after this next major, if it's a similar result, then I think we'll have some stronger conversations about them. Yeah, let's keep it pushing to non-success stories. The Miami Heretics and the Riyadh Falcons bombed out of the tournament. Miami were the number 2 seed. Riyadh, I believe, was the number 3 seed. Both those teams were rocking worlds online. Search and destroy demons on one end, respawn demons on the other. And we get to land and they just forget how to play. And I talked a little bit about it before the show, Ray. The drop off from online to land now, some of these teams, I just don't remember it being as significant as it was back in the day. I don't know if it's because these guys don't play enough land or like they need mental coaches or whatever it is, but they looked lost on land, bro. Like completely different. I want you to speak to that a little bit if you can, and then also just kind of like both those teams bowing out.
I want to start with Riyadh because I think this is a team that we saw. I feel like, is it crazy to say that Major One, their bomb at Major One was kind of similar in a way?
It was, yeah.
Where
they got a bad draw though. They had to play Optic.
That's fair.
Top 6.
That's fair.
Stuff.
But I feel like the team that was finding like that needed more consistency. It was kind of starting to find it, and then showed up to Major One and just kind of seemingly had some bad decision making that kind of costed him. And then I don't want to say this was kind of more the same, but they definitely didn't play at the same level from a strategic standpoint that we saw them and what brought them their success online and respawns. Like I'll just respawns specifically because that's where we would expect them to kind of have their strengths and kind of have a chance to push the major deep, because obviously their search wasn't much to talk about leading into it. But it was just completely different. Like a lot of solo stuff, not really like pushing out the right areas. Certain players, it just, I don't know. It's hard to tell exactly what's going on within the camp from an outside perspective.
Right? It looks crazy.
Just the way they were going about things just looked completely different than what they were doing online. And it felt to me like this was going to be the event where they really pushed the meter on it, because we saw them find a lot of consistency in their matches online. Like even the ones that were losing, like it never really felt like, at least it never looked like the Major One matches they had. They never felt like they were completely lost. Like it just felt like they were losing matches for certain plays.
Like a mistake here and there.
It wasn't really like, it wasn't totally on them, right? Like it just felt like this major, the way they were going about things just felt like they weren't conducing much to having success at all.
Ray, watch this.
Like even like just pause the score. Pause the video.
Bro.
Can you pause the video?
Yeah, it's paused.
Just real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's 121-40. Look at the slaying. Like the slaying does not indicate a team should be losing by 80 points going into second P2 of a map. Like that just, like we are doing something that isn't conducive to success here if the slaying is this close and losing by this much. I mean, it could also be Minnesota playing this really well, not taking anything out of them.
No, it's not. Yeah, well, like they're playing fine, but like I want you to see, Ben, what have like me and Ray said about this team, all like what they did really well all last split? Like, do you remember what we talked about every time we talk about their hard point? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they were paced and they just moved and they moved as a unit. And
You
they,
heard that word,
forced
chat?
trades and they ate people.
You heard that word, pace? Now tell me if this is pace right here, bro. Rotation. You just gotta kill. Bro, I just don't know like what happened, bro. Like if this was the Falcons online, they just killed, like, bro, they're banging it.
They're flying.
Flying, bro. Like,
Yeah, I mean, we technically got 2 on the road. Like one just spawned. Like Pred would be like everyone would be flying at this. Like we just,
bro.
yeah.
I
think they do. I think they do have a mental coach, if I'm not mistaken.
Do they?
At least I'm
They do,
pretty sure they
yes.
had one from Major One. So
Yeah.
But the
like
first P2
those things
there?
for sure help. Those things for sure help.
Let me see the first P2.
But it seems like people are defaulting back to some bait tendencies, some slow tendencies that they weren't doing online. And when like the pressure hits on land.
But this is a good example.
Xnid, what
This is
are
a good
we
example
doing?
of what. This is a good example of what they were definitely not doing, or at least not as much online when they were finding success. Like this is not conducive to success in any capacity. So,
Dude, MC is playing
a good
so
point.
slow, dude. Like this is the problems we had with MC like 2 years ago. He would like play super slow and like not get to his team. He just like went back to that for some reason. Like Pred like hitting these long ass pinches. Like look at this pinch on a Pred. I'm not even necessarily saying this is like the worst. It's just like not what we were seeing from them at all. Everybody's across the map on different chows, losing the 1v1s. Like, I don't know, man. It's just a different brand than what we saw. I don't know what they have to do, but like the drop off is significant.
I mean, it also didn't, I'm going to be candid, bro. It also didn't help the X went from dropping like a 1-2 online to just not really having a slaying impact in any of these series like that. It's still a game of kills.
But does
And, like, pacing out, like,
is Xnid like controlling Selim's
Almost-
left stick?
No, he's not.
No,
but like
but
AG and Xnid were also making slow ass fucking plays too. Like their whole team just wasn't like playing with like the fucking pace that we saw online. And I don't know what's going on in that camp when they loaded in these land matches, but back-to-back top 8s is not what this team signed up for.
no. And I will like the one thing I want to keep reminding everyone, and I say this a lot, but this is to me something we all need to like think about when we're talking about statistics and whatnot. Like that situation that Ange just showed on the breaking P2, like if they do things in the right way, they're immediately in a good situation. Obviously, if they win out the fight, I'm not saying it's a guaranteed win, but if they give themselves to win that fight quickly, they're immediately in a situation where everyone's pushing out lanes that they can get free kills. That we see them like push your pace, having that kind of pushed up part of the map where you have a clear advantage to get kills. Like if you don't break or win the rotations in a proper way or do the things that we're doing online in comparison to what we just saw, then you don't get to those positions and those instances where you can get those kills and then your stats look the way they do.
Yeah, like basically
especially
like
for sub players.
what Ray's saying, chat, is like this could literally be like Xnid could be sitting there like, yo, what the fuck? I can't get into any of my flow spots. You know what I mean? Like we can't just instantly be like, yo, this is Xnid's fault for stats, which is it's fair to say because everybody looked like they weren't playing the same and they weren't playing with the same pace. Like if they wipe those guys P2, Xnid could just be front, wall hop slaying, bro. Like picking up kills, going crazy, but they don't.
I hear you, man, but like if he was dropping like a 0.9, it's like whatever. But like he has played 5 series on land. He played good in the C9 series. The other 4 have not been close. Like he's one of the least experienced.
Hold on. Cap, what requested we watch this overload breakoff, Ben? This is what I'm saying, Ben. We and you sat here and talked about how good they were at overload all split
They were
long.
amazing.
Yeah,
they were
amazing.
literally amazing. Like I thought that they were the best overload team. They got 2
Like,
dead
Devon
with the
Optic were by
rock.
far the best too.
We got 2 dead with the rock. Yo, this team right here is terrified. What the fuck are Kiz and Pred doing?
I don't know when Kiz and AG aren't flying, trying to check my cut.
Look at Xnid. He's tweaking with the ball. He's like, what are we doing?
He's in a blockers.
Yo,
There's no space
7.
game taken.
6 and 7.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
we need
5. What the
Like, I don't
fuck?
know where-
We just killed 3. What is he watching? This is this is
last guy to pit. I don't know.
this is crazy.
But let's just keep it simple in a way. Like I don't want to like spend too much time on like putting him down, but like it's more the sense of like this is not what we were seeing online at all. Like this team completely had a mindset shift, mentality shift, and obviously this comes down to the players, just for whatever reason, feeling certain situations differently than they were before. But like this definitely is not the team we expect to see, and the team that we didn't see online. Like it just wasn't. Like this is completely different.
Yeah, but like this right here though is like super weird. Like we have 3 dead and we are paused. Like
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'd be pulling my hair out in this situation if I was Clay. To be honest, it's just a weak one.
Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, they're in a position where they have a lot of players on roster and challengers. Like they don't have to necessarily make a change. They probably will. Like they can trial a couple of different looks on how to make a lineup with XNID, without XNID, and Nox and QK, and see if the comms are like can actually work at a CDL level. Like they've got some time to eval, but I don't know how you.
But
like that doesn't change any. Like all right, you could put at least send out Gaib here for XNID. He does his job. He rips the guy low dirt, grabs the ball. Like who's coming in and fixing this?
So who are you dropping then? Like how are we fixing this?
I'm not. See, like your brain just default. I'm not even attacking you, but your brain just defaults to like dropping. Which I'm not saying they should or shouldn't. I don't give a shit what they do. But like we gotta like get it through to the team. Let's play how we.
Yeah, this is a team mentality thing. It's not an individual mentality. Like this is them as collectively as individuals and as a team, just not recognizing what's going on here. Like this,
straight up. Like straight
don't
up.
drop anybody. I'm gonna be honest. They got back-to-back top 8. I think someone's getting dropped.
This is separate issues though, Ben. Those are separate issues though. You know what I mean? Like this is like a team concept we're talking about right here, and then like, do we want to get better by dropping somebody? And if the guy that you drop and pick up is coming in and like somehow getting it through everybody's skull to like play how we do online on land, then maybe. Well, like who's that?
Can we not take a step back before the event? They were statistically like first or second in both respawn modes?
Yeah, they were top 2 in respawn.
So it's like you need to find what's not making him click when it gets to land, not like the change. The change isn't necessarily, and not only were they getting better, like they were finding a lot of consistency in it. Like we said earlier, like even when they were losing those maps and mode, like in those modes, it wasn't anything like, they didn't just threw this away. Like not to the level we're watching now at the very least. So it's like we know, this team can accomplish good things. They were the only team beat Optic online. Granted, it's online, doesn't matter.
They were putting out teach tape.
This is just so different that something else is going on in these instances that's what needs to be addressed, like in a way it's possible. If it comes down to a point where like that they feel like they can't address it, then you start looking toward a change. But bro, like we were top 3, top 4 team at worst, even where their search was at, which is something they can focus on, improve moving forward to become a very consistent, well-rounded team across the board. Like, how are we looking at a change directly? Like, I feel like
I'm sorry, guys. You guys know how this works. They got back-to-back top 8s. I think there are probably people on this team that want to see something else, and that's just how it's gonna go.
No, Ben, I hear you.
I know there's a lot we don't. It's just you guys have seen what happens.
No, Ben, I hear you, and sometimes I'm like, I'll be kind of in between, like you on like Ross changes and stuff. But like this one, I promise you, bro. Like the tape is so much different than what it was online. Like wait, like
I'm aware. I watched
it's not series, a player. I'm telling you, it's not a player. Like it's not, bro. It is their thought and
they're gonna have to shuffle something up. And I think what they'll probably do at minimum is probably trial a couple of their other Saudi guys. Either as a message.
None of that's gonna matter. None of that shit's gonna matter if they have the same exact operation.
Well, this again, like I don't know how to. The problem is their issue is it's such a tough issue to fix. Like, why are we all defaulting the mentalities that we don't do online? I assume don't do in scrims. Like they go to LAN and they're just low poke fucking Pokemon.
I do know before their first series that they didn't get to scrim, which could have just checked them out. Pred was also sick. They had a long list of excuses that they could use. So I'll put that out there, but like, there's no excuse for like what we just saw on Overload or what we just watched on P2 and Hardpoint. Like at the end of the day, those are. And
we could also mention that their S&D wasn't that good to split either. And like once the respawn falls off, like they don't have a good enough search bag to like consistently be able to bullshit their way through series, right? Like I don't know, bro. I've seen this kind of too many times, and usually what happens in this situation, especially I think the pressure they're under, because like as good as they've been online. I'm pretty sure if you look at the standings, they are like the last team in the champs right now. Like I have a feeling that this will end in someone getting rotated out of this lineup.
I was gonna say I talked to Clay a lot, bro. Like feel bad for my boy. That like you could put in all the work you want, y'all could be cooking. They were setting trends online, I swear, especially in Overload. You get to land and, bro, I don't know what's going on. They got to figure out a different process, but we can keep it pushing. I think what Ray said is kind of like the main thing here is like they just got to figure out how to emulate what they were doing online. I don't know what that is, but that's for their camp to figure out.
It's a hard solve, to be fair. There's not a specific answer. You can't really put your finger on one thing. I mean, there might be something internally, but like obviously from us from the outside, we can't really tell. But it's definitely it's a tough one, man. Because it's not like they looked a little different. Like it was pretty dramatic in terms of how different that team looked online to LAN.
Speaking of dramatic, another team that had a dramatic outing at the tournament was the Miami Heretics. Talk to me, Mr. BENJ. You had some high hopes for them. What happened, bro? What happened to Miami, Ben?
Bro, they were such a
free run.
Bro, the thing is, they were good coming in this event. Like they were good across all three modes. I know they lost to Carolina in Game 5 on Sunday, but going into the event, but like then they won a pretty clinical 3-0 against a chalk Boston team. Like I'm like, okay, well, Miami pulled up this event. They had a like favorable. Well, they're in like the bottom side of the bracket with Gentlemates and FaZe and Thieves. And like it will be tough. Like they're gonna have to play their best shit. And like, I mean, the Gentlemates series was like, I think some of the maps were pretty close, but they got kind of outplayed. I think in that series. And then you're like, okay,
40
well,
something for the loss in that one. Pretty sure.
Yeah, like those. But then they just pulled up to the Thieves series and just showed fucking no life. And that was the weirdest part to me. It's like, okay. We have a tough loss to Gentlemates with Rally. We'll play a Thieves teams that's coming off like they lost a reverse sweep. They're probably potentially feeling worse than we do. And they just showed no life in that series. So it was very odd out of Miami. They were just out of the tournament on Friday.
I will say, we're going, Ray.
What do we talk about leading into the event about this team?
I mean, I've been warning people for a while that this team gets so many kills. If they don't get the kill, I told everybody right after the Carolina series, Ray, if you remember, I said, this is a team that also finds kills. And so if you're not playing good Call of Duty, and they outslay you, you're going to lose. And that's what happened. And look what happens to Miami.
Not only that.
Super's not God, and they lose.
The Gentlemates series, who outslayed who on the first map?
But Miami probably did, huh? I don't know.
Miami outslayed the Gentlemates by 2 kills on the first map, lost by 50. Who outslayed who on the third map?
Let's go look. Where's the Gentleman?
Miami, I'll tell you, I got it up.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can show it, I guess. Miami outslayed Gentlemates by 2 kills on the third map. Lost.
There it is.
Who outslayed who on the fourth map?
Yeah, I mean, they just outslayed them on every respawn and lost. Bro.
He lost all 3 respawns that I was outlying. And
see, this is a problem, bro.
It's not.
You've been saying
to
it.
be fair, it was Gentlemates who are also a very efficient team, but it's just being reliant on kills is not something that's conducive to consistency.
Never has and never will.
It never. It's literally. This is. By the way, chat or everyone listening to this, again, like Ann said, this is not a new thing. This is not a new concept. This has been a thing ever since. I mean, the dinosaur ages where I was competing. It's very much. There are ways to make your kills worth more than they actually are, and there are ways to get kills in a way where you're not accomplishing all that much. And the clip we just showed from Falcons, for example, on the break off of that exposure, they got 3 kills and then nobody went forward. So theoretically, you have to get 3 more kills to then go forward again.
And
if
score.
you keep inching your way up a map, then you're just never really getting done with your kills. And eventually, bro, it's COD. Eventually some of these guys, they all can shoot, bro. You're not going to be able to win all these gunfights that consistently. So I just think it's a product of, again, the way they were going about things. We kind of saw it online. In their success online, if you look at most of their matches, all 4 of them were putting out
they statistically all caught fire for the most part. Stage. All 4 of them.
None of them in a very similar way to how Toronto went this major, in my opinion. That's how Miami was playing online. It was very much we're just gonna outkill you. We're gonna kill you more than they kill us, and this should be enough to get us to win because we'll be able to take advantage of it at some point.
Yeah. And they were a good search team, so they had the makings win
they're
series.
Great. No, not good. They're a great search team. And to be fair, still this event as well. They were
it's good.
Their search is never going to be prominent with super sniping the way he's sniping. Period. That guy's fucking goated to sniping. It's actually insane. The fact that he didn't align as well for the most part, was super typical because I feel in the moments where you're not in your comfort zone fully, especially since there's no aim assist this year on a sniper, I guarantee you it's not as easy as he's making it seem to do the things he's doing.
This is just why I was just never fully sold on them though, because they're and that's why I didn't have them top 3 in the tournament. Because bro, you watch them play. Everybody's not gonna keep fire like that. Medals and Trakes were both frying this online split. And it's like, I'm not saying like, everybody, like they're not all good players, because they are. This is what Ray said. Everybody else is also really fucking good, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's really hard to just blitz teams
Like
consistently.
With how easy it is to aim now, like the general, like obviously we can all agree the games make it more seamless to be able to consistent at aiming. Like these gunfights are even more 50-50s for the most part than it used to be. So if you're not taking advantage of the kills you do get, then at some point in time it's going to bite you. And I just feel like that's kind of the story of this event for these guys in the first match. And then these matches just got outslayed severely. So it's like you're like, regardless of what efficiency they were going to go for, like I think they got out, like on average they got outslayed by like 10 kills each, I think, if you even out all the players. So it's just winning a series that way is gonna be really hard. But yeah, I think moving forward, like I would love to see these guys trying to find their way and being a little more going about things in a way that's just more productive when they do get their kills. Whether it's to me it's not extremely difficult. It's more of like it's finding a way to find pace as a team and not as only your subs. Like I feel like the ARs need to step up the build a bit and finding space on the map when they do get their kills and not stick to their good positions as much. Like if you look at all the best teams and their ARs are always in there, like Merc, for example. Merc's probably the best example you can use. Kid's fucking goated and gross at the game. Like when he's doing stuff and he gets kills, he's always in your face off spawn, always making your life miserable. There's never a point where they're just really just sitting there. They're always trying to move the needle forward. Yeah, they always take advantage of their opportunities to move forward and take more space.
Same with Draza. Draza's another really good example 100%. Of that.
So it's just, I think that's where they're lacking. And obviously it's collectively, it's not just the ARs. Like same with certain situations, you can argue with the subs doing that. Like it's just finding a way to take more advantage of your kills. And I feel like it's not incredibly hard to do. Like there's plenty of examples out there of teams that are doing it well. You can go watch and just do like I'll use a Crimsix term, to Chinaman, where you just kind of replicate what they do and try and make it better. So I feel like this team is still a team I have faith in. But they definitely need, like we talked before the event, they definitely need to find a way to find more win conditions than just outslaying a team by an amount that's insurmountable.
Yeah, I totally agree. And as we talked about this, weeks prior and on episodes, leading up to it. For you, like, what's your main takeaway, I guess, of Miami? Like, where are you at with this team? Do you think they can get to that point? Because this feels like the same problems they had last year, albeit they had success, but like they got hard stopped by like they just couldn't capitalize on their kills versus the top teams. And we've seen it here earlier in tournaments.
Is that a question for me or for Ray?
That's for you.
Oh.
Like, where do you think they go from here?
I mean, I kind of disagree with Ray. I just think they got to find a way to play more efficient ball, which is less reliant on kills. I'm not sure what S&D also then fell off hard this weekend. Like even when throw inefficiencies and respawn, at least if you're fall back in a good search bag, you can try and extend these series, and they couldn't do it. That's at losers round one. So I mean, it's just a very disappointing event. I don't know if they're going to make a change. I assume not, but I'm going to see better for them at the Pro-Am.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. Like Super also like wasn't as insane as he was in Respawn. Coming into this, I don't know if it's because he slowed down a bit. It's weird. I'll have to go back and rewatch the Miami games. They went out pretty early, so I'm not exactly remembering like the intricacies of these maps. But just from like watching them generally, like so far, I mean, what are they? They're out slaying, and they're it's a tie game. So clearly something's going wrong. We'll get more into Miami on future episodes, but the main thing we're here to talk about is FaZe's run. I'll kick this back over to you first here as well, Ben. Thoughts on FaZe, starting with this reverse sweep all the way up to the grand final, where they ended up taking down Optic 4-1, a dominant victory. Kind of what are your overall thoughts on FaZe? And I will also say the CoDCast did have this final. We predicted it correctly. W CoDCast. Come on, baby. Optic FaZe was the final.
Yeah, my model also predicted this most likely final, but they had Optic winning. I think we talked about a lot with FaZe on these shows that I don't think they're more efficient than Optic, but they play a good brand of ball. And they really inconsistent slaying, especially from Mofor and Draz. Like those are the two X Factor players, and both of them showed up in a big way this weekend. And once that happens, we have unfortunately seen a position a team like Optic's in where you can have the world's cleanest split, and then you get to Sunday at the end, and another team catches fire and they get hot, and they just turning the second best team in the split. Like it's tough for Optic, but I think for FaZe, like I think not enough probably discussion come in this about how much it means for a Booz in 04 to get that one after last year in particular.
Yeah.
And I would just love to know, like, you know, just what they were saying just in the lead up to that grand final, like, because they came out hot.
Were they recording, Ben?
Like,
do they do content at the event? I would love to watch those.
I'm not sure they're doing a doc series. I also got to say, to be honest, at Optic, it is against Gentlemates too. I know they're really good at Colossus, but I am not a massive fan of the Colossus map 1 pick when you're coming from winners.
Me neither. Can I add some context to that?
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, in the grand final, the Optic picks 1 and 5, I think, because they picked whatever his team A. Whatever, I don't even know how. Whatever it is, they pick 1 and 5. So Optic basically never gets to play Colossus. It gets vetoed a lot against them. Anyways, they went ahead and they picked Colossus as map 1. Now what that means is FaZe get to pick 2, 3, and 4, and then Optic pick 5, which is the exposure S&D that they picked because they saw FaZe lose to it on Toronto. Probably felt confident there. So what that sets up for is if FaZe do steal the map 1 Colossus, which they did, that Optic didn't play for a while. I don't even know if they played it at the major. Then you're in a spot where you can get freaking 4-0'd. And even if FaZe throw away one of their map picks in 2, 3, 4, they could potentially close it out on a search and destroy, their best game mode, which is what happened, right? So FaZe definitely like seized that opportunity. Maybe a slight mistake on the side of Optic in picking Colossus map 1. So I think Ben is 100% spot on. And that's kind of what I said in the game break after 2 was that it's 1-1, but like, yeah, FaZe can win these next couple. So yeah, I think FaZe did a good job game planning, bro.
That being said, you can pick Team B. The biggest disadvantage with that is that you don't get to do the overload ban, which can be really big in the series.
That's the biggest advantage you have.
Yeah, so you just but you do get to dictate maps early on in the series. That's the trade-off.
But you guys
pretty much everybody takes A. I don't think I've ever seen a.
Ray, you can see the like where the opportunity for FaZe there, right? We steal this map, boys, as GGs. Like that's what I would be saying.
Just to play devil's advocate here, no one played Colossus the entire event except one, and none of these teams played it. So it's not like Optic hadn't got to play it and FaZe got to play it.
Yeah, but they made the same mistake against Gentlemates, and like they also lost the Colossus map 1. I just think in general.
Why are we saying mistake though? Like I get it. Like they didn't win it. Granted, yes, I think we can all agree there. They also got outslayed by fucking 40 kills to lose by 60.
That's my point. That's my point though, Ray. That's my point is like, why would you put yourself in a position against a team that had just played a series and they've been really just sitting around for 20 minutes? You've been in the back. I know Optic wanted to scrim Huntsman. The league said, no, you can't bring Huntsman back here. You're not a pro team. So they sit there and probably play like 2v2s. Like the other team is hotter. Why would you put them on a map that plays
it would have been that or Den? It would have been that or Den.
I would have preferred Den, to be honest.
I mean, but that like again,
that's the Optic's worst map though.
Yeah, I feel like we're blowing that out of the perspective a little bit. Like, and there's also a lot of like scrim results that go into these decisions. Like just being in this position before, like your thought process.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead, finish your thought. Sorry,
picking 2, 3, 4 is crazy. Like. Are we just grazing by that?
And FaZe had beaten Optic in scrims on this map, by the way, on stream, and we've seen him do it multiple times. So like, I just think there was a conversation to be had in that camp about whether or not Colossus map 1 was the right choice. And unfortunately, in both these grand finals now, they picked the map 1 and lost it both times.
Gotcha.
I guess you can't pick Den, right? Because it's your worst map. You can't pick it. You can't pick Den map 1.
Unless they were like winning it a lot against FaZe and scrims, which my assumption they didn't, or else they probably would have picked it. So it's just a map pool thing at that point, right?
Yeah.
Like it's.
I mean, I'm just gonna agree disagree, boys. I just like our best worst map aside, I just find it not a great decision to like play a team that's coming off a series on an absolute bang-up map in Colossus.
You would play your no. Hold up.
Yeah, but you act like you're terrible.
Shush. Let me talk. You would pick your worst map, your worst hardpoint map, efficient. Like let's just say from an efficient standpoint, over another map that you're actually good at, just because the other team came off playing in a losers final to the final.
I mean, they were 4-3 and Den. You act like they're like 1-7. Like they've
No, but if
they like
but if
won the
FaZe-
last 3 Dens they played coming into that series.
But
like,
if that's one of FaZe's best map, and let's say FaZe was
FaZe
consistent,
it's not one of FaZe, bro. In matches we've seen FaZe. I mean, we literally saw
Yeah,
this
but
weekend. Can
they're
clutch
like
up and
6-1
down
on
and
Colossus though. So like they probably felt like, let's just go blitz them on Colossus. You know, I get why they picked
Yeah,
it.
and FaZe were 3-1 on the map this stage. Like I hear what you're saying, right? I totally understand. I just think that you could make another argument to have made a better map choice, and I don't know if they
agree
would
with
have won
Joe.
map 1, but I don't know if it was the right call because they did
Listen.
it against Gentlemates. They scored Gentlemates who were excellent at Colossus and lost that map 1 as well. So
Listen, let's just put it like this, guys. They were in a hard spot because it was a Den or Colossus. Den's your worst map. They're 6-1 on Colossus. Raw dog in a map, like Joe said, is hard. But the main thing that I'm kind of point out here is that picking 2-3-4 is insane, bro. Because of the way it sets up. If you steal the other team's map 1, you have a huge advantage, bro. Not only are you warmed up, you steal the map 1, you pick 2-3-4, and if you lose one of your map picks, you then have S&D to close it out on, which is already like kind of 50-50 for the 2 teams that make it to the grand final. Just from my pro player perspective, that's how I look at it. Like Search versus anybody in just like a one and done, like it's just kind of 50-50, especially grand finals. So like,
unless you have like an undeniably better map pool than your opposing team at hardpoint going to the final, like the advantage for coming through for winners, obviously, like we can talk about the format all day, but like you guys are saying right now, it's not a glaring advantage to come from winners, like in that sense.
it's an advantage if you go the distance. If you go all the way to 7, like then yeah, Optic had an advantage on like the latter half of the series.
That last year,
Yeah,
the
just make it
problem
there.
a little bit with the best of 7 vetoes is that we don't have 4 overload maps, because if we had 4 overload maps, then instead of the leftover map being map 4, like the team that's A could actually pick a fucking map. And we've
Yeah.
seen how big like getting map 6 is in a series.
Mhm.
Like going back towards like, I don't know, MW2. But is it time to maybe rethink the veto process for best of 7? Yeah. But I don't know if that would have changed too much of the outcome in a series. Like I think unfortunately Optic have a unique problem that we've only seen a couple of times, most recently Vanguard FaZe. Like they are just the best team in the game, but they pull up on Sundays and like I'm not sure what's going on, but they tend to be the second best team. The other team's got a bit more ice, teams clutching up, they're playing with a bit more pace, the
Yo.
guns are a little bit hotter. Like,
Dude, Ben, this is hell for Optic fans if they have a Vanguard FaZe season.
no,
yeah, I mean,
it's
it was,
not-
it
no,
was
it's
they
happening.
said pretty much flawless call this entire stage.
Yo, every
Just
argument
get
that they
ran.
use against like simp and shit would just be, oh my god, this is cinema. Whoa,
And
we're
I want to
living in
address the PC
cinema.
thing. I talked to a bunch of players about it. I don't think the PCs were necessarily bad. There was an optimization issue with whatever version of the game they play on in those PCs, and it caused a number of issues on maps. And like that's unfortunate. Not sure if that wasn't flagged before or what have you. Like it shouldn't really happen, but it happened to like basically every team. So everybody had to adjust to it. But I'm gonna be honest, like the PCs is not why Optic got outslayed by like a gazillion kills in this series and lost 4-1.
Well, it's like the side of the stage, dude. First of all, we don't have to talk about it too long, but can we just acknowledge like the Optic fans' conspiracies are hilarious, bro. They are going.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, but they've had Excuse Monday going for like since fucking like Ghost. You know what I'm saying? Like
this side of the stage thing. Like, I mean, obviously, it could just be completely pure luck and randomness, but there's been events before. I can remember the Cold
Paris?
War. No, I mean, I wasn't.
You don't remember the
there for that,
phase
but
one, the Paris one?
I don't remember that one.
That's the most notorious
Didn't-
one.
did-
The most notorious
Didn't Madrid
one.
have kind of didn't EWC
Remember-
or Madrid have bad like?
I remember the
PC
event.
issues?
You remember the event that Minnesota came back on Toronto, like
Yeah.
the insane comeback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that weekend, the side that Minnesota was on, only one team that entire weekend won from that side of the stage. Like, and that's insane when you think about it. And then like Minnesota was going in the same light where they're about to get smoked. They were down 3-0 and the maps weren't even close in that final. And then they somehow brought it back.
And we're dealing with technology,
Like,
bro.
here's-
Shit goes wrong.
But
I
here's
don't
the
know.
here's the
Never
thing,
know.
bro. Like to the people in chat, like PC ain't the reason that Ant's flying at fucking playing the OT the overall.
No, that's
No,
true.
of
That's
course,
true.
there's obviously more to it. But, like-
it gets you. There's some piece to it, but
But
like
a
they-
3% advantage is like even that, changed everything.
I just like the only thing that like like if we're just gonna have fun with conspiracies again, I'm not
Yeah.
advocating for any of this being true.
Yeah, disclaimer,
like-
we're trolling,
like-
but
Yeah, we're trolling hard right now. But the fact that FaZe outside Optic by was it fucking hell?
Yeah,
It was
a lot.
41,
Bro.
like 60 plus kills in 5 maps.
It
Like
makes
again,
you
not saying the
consider
FaZe
it.
guys, like not saying the FaZe guys aren't good. Like obviously they're great players, but like bro, like these are two pound for pound, these are two best teams right now. Like the fact that a team got outside by 60 is insane.
No, it is insane.
Insane to think about.
And also to the go ahead, Ben.
Go ahead, Mike. I mean, I think that if you go through the individual maps, and I think the moment to me that I think like really turned this series was like after the halftime in the Scar Overload, where FaZe was up 3-0, and like Optic looked visibly frustrated. It didn't seem like they really regained that edge after that. And like, I
But
don't know.
also, Ben, Optic was FaZe was blitzing them on that map, and Optic literally only tied it up with like a 60-second run. Like they were fucking shitting on them before that, low key. Like they were
Didn't
ripping
I see
them.
something about Optic had frame rate issues for that map? I think I saw Ant say something, or I saw a post about Ant's stream that he was bringing that up.
Maybe.
Something about like frame rate issues, which obviously would suck. And that comes back to the earlier discussion about game issues, like shouldn't be a thing. But yeah, and on the flip side of this, I do want to commend Optic. Like, fuck me, bro. Like to be outslayed by that much and to lose the maps as close as like they like this was a 4-1, but bro, like every map came down on the wire
close, yeah.
for the most part. Like that was
Other than map
insane.
too.
Well, me, Clint,
That
Joe
was a
talked about
really,
it.
really
I still
cool
think
final.
after this, I still think Optic's the best team, even after this final.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
The problem is
1A,
they are
1B, but like I still think Optic is like more consistent.
they're just in now in 2 stages, and a major one going into it. I think Gentlemates had an argument and we weren't really sure. But this stage, like Optic, we said it going in, like they're the clear number 1 team. It'd be really disappointed if they don't win this event. Like they've just got the unique problem of like, how do they? It's so hard to do, but like, what do they need to change that when they load into that grand final on Sunday, coming from winners? I see some stupid people talking about tanking the fucking losers. It's ridiculous.
Bro,
When you come into winners, like how are we matching the energy and the pace,
bro, Ben.
the intensity, but our system required to win that series? Like, what are we doing differently?
I'll just say this. Nobody was beating FaZe in this final, bro. They were running it down, bro.
They were running it down
And
crazy.
again, disclaimer, because we're hard trolling, but like there have been some events in the past, and the one that comes to mind for me is way back for the OGs that are in chat was ESWC. It was the FaZe team with like Zuma and Clay and Enable. They were frying, like taking over, like running through everybody. Like they were for sure gonna beat Optic. And then they get to the final. Optic made them switch sides because they had the higher seed, and then Optic just blitzed them, like destroyed them. And I remember thinking, like, hold up, bruh. Something's wrong with these boxes. And that was the thing back in the day. Like, this doesn't happen as often now, but like this one just makes you consider the conspiracies a little bit.
Right.
Again, hard trolling, but
Right.
like this is unusual. Like this is not normal, and I don't think this will happen to Optic again to this degree.
I mean, to be like again, like just I would agree with Ant on that sense. Like I definitely think they belong. Like FaZe definitely not creeped in. They ran into the S tier for sure.
Oh yeah.
If we're gonna do another like tier list, but on that sense, like again, if you look statistically and how close these maps were, like you're not gonna be able to play Optic by this much on a daily basis, if this ever happens again. To be honest.
Yeah.
So on that sense, what I am really excited about this though is like I definitely think right now if things were to stay as they are, you're definitely going to see finals within these two teams more, probably at least 50-60% of the time going the rest of the year, if not more.
Oh, yeah.
So we're set up for some really, really good matches. And just dude, Ben, like for what you said about like Optic need to figure out, bro, like they just came back from winning champs and fucking EWC, got second the first 2 majors. Like it's not like this team has a closing problem. Like, and it's just they're just obviously.
Well, what I'm saying, Ray, is like, is there a common denominator? And we don't know because we're on their camp. Is there a common denominator? What's happened? I know the Gentleman Series went last map.
I don't know.
It was
this
they
one-
lost a bunch of searches in the first time, and they were all close, and now they lost a bunch of respawns.
I just can't
in the
take
second time
anything
because they got
away.
played by a million.
I can't take
Like there's
anything
no,
away.
yeah,
from it.
there's no like.
So what? So you want to wait till Major 3 if they get fucking second again, then we'll have this combo?
But there's nothing else to do other than practice.
You
Like
can't. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
No,
there's
that's what I'm saying. I
like-
feel bad for them. I'm not saying like I just feel bad for them because like they were the clear number 1 team for all but 1 day of the stage, and then it's the
Yeah,
one day
that's
that
true.
fucking matters. Like it's tough.
I agree with that.
I mean, even then,
definitely
you
feel
could.
bad.
There was they won the winners final pretty convincingly in the same way
Yeah.
that FaZe beat Devon final. So
All right, so I got a clip for you guys that I wanted to show. I think this is poetry in motion. This is excellence. This is what solidified 04 as the MVP. This is the level that FaZe Vegas are at. And this is
Glaze twin.
Yeah, I'm glazing.
Twin glaze. I'm here for it.
And this is what everybody else should be striving to be like for the pro Call of Duty teams. This is down the stretch. This is 2-1 in the grand final. You're playing Optic, and y'all need to have a good fucking rotation. And this is about as good as it gets. 04 on rotate, and it's everybody. It's down to, you're going to see Draza hard blocking. You're going to see Twin making the rotation play. Like, this can be hard to control in game, but FaZe do this perfect. I mean, watch this. So he pushes up long, and then he knows that where they're spawning, so they're gonna be coming through mid connector, right? You got players around the hill. He's gonna reposition up top P3 to make himself a more difficult kill. And on this hill, what does everybody prioritize, chat? We've been talking to you all the split. That you want to get mid map control, right? And then force them to a side and then control bottom window. That's like the end game setup. So what do we do here? We clean them all up and funnel them into P1. Bam. 04 Twin finds 2. And now we got control. So now what do we do? Twin going reposition. I want them to spawn all the way back here. Let me get bottom window control. And now Draza's hard blocking fucking farmed. This is how you play COD, bro. This right here is literally 10 out of 10 absolute perfection, bro. And at the helm of it is Twin. So I just want to show him some love. And I want you guys to see how perfect this was.
Also put in Jordan, like they're challenging, like they're not sitting back, like all waiting for them to get out. Like they're being active as staggering their push. Like breaking hills in this game when you don't have full numbers is fucking hard, bro. Like
it is.
If you're able to push, this is where we talk about pace, and like in the light we were talking about Miami earlier. Like this is kind of like, and again, some like Toronto in the same way. Like some of these teams that aren't playing the pushing the meter on making sure they stagger other team pushes, like this is done to a T, bro. Like if you're any team watching having issues on a P5 and seeing how to control the map, like this is clinical. Like
bro.
Yeah, sure, you could argue like 04 is winning a bunch of fights, but like these fights are positions that like he's reading the play. He's being in positions that are hard to get, hard to know what he's doing.
Yeah,
because he's constantly moving. He's constantly making annoying. And just kind of reasserting the idea of being the best way to play is that even if he dies, he gets info where the first player on the push is, and then he comes off spawn and he's bumping someone to go do the same thing he was doing a second earlier.
Yep.
Like,
and look at how murky this is, yo. Like I want you guys to see the vision here, because like this is so high level. Like teams like I don't know, let's go like a G2 or like a Carolina. Like those are solid teams, right? You guys would agree, like solid pro teams like a Carolina, a G2. Would you agree with that, right? Yeah. They're not doing this. Like look at the vision here. So look, again, I'm just going to go a little more detail. Draza spawns all the way out back here. He's in the back of old. So what's the thought here out of FaZe? They're like, okay, we need to get 1 kill on rotation, right? So 04 gets the 1 kill and instantly dips out. He knows they're going to be on the right. Like this can get so chaotic on Roto. Like Draza chows a guy off old and like ends up like getting into a weird fight. And then this guy has a lane. Like, no, like they're setting up for 20 seconds from now on the rotation. Like this is like the middle of the pack teams aren't even close to making plays like this. And I know I'm bouncing on it, but it's deserved, bro. This is how you play COD. Like this is how you play COD.
I will say another key thing in the sequence is Jordan's actually shooting at fucking people in the hill, and like
some of these kills at 04
looks like 04 is 2-bolting, but he's 2-bolting because it's actually a fucking team shot opportunity.
Team shots.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a concept we worked on a lot last year about having the hill player involved in the play. You don't want to like just cover your hill guy to where he's got nothing going on. Like his gun is worth just as much as someone else if you can get in the right positions. Like
watch Draza, dude. He's just chilling. Like try to ask some of the other ARs in the league on teams to do this. This is straight trust. Like this is teams are not.
They're doing what's conducive to getting map control. Like they're making it extremely annoying. And like what you said about getting top mid for this play specifically is that's how every team's going to play this. Like it's just that FaZe plays in a position where they just trap him in the net and they don't actually go for like fights or direct fights. They don't really give him a chance at a gunfight. They just play for where they're going to be and they get kills off it and then they react off where they're going to spawn as fast as they are. And
just remember, this is
Optic's in a blend here.
They're doing this to Optic, Chad. You know how hard that is? And like essentially right there, they've created a win condition for their team, right? 20 seconds left on old. We just got to get 1 good clean break here or P1 and we win. Like this is so to the people who would say, I know we just had that whole conversation about like, status stage, this and that, a third. This is the level of Call of Duty Optic lost to, right? FaZe deserved the win. So that's why we had that conversation prior to showing this. Like FaZe played better than Optic in the final, regardless of how you look at it. So yeah, there's that's my spiel. I'm done.
I like good glaze.
Yeah. I just think for Optic, it's a tough result. FaZe are the better team on Sunday. Obviously, for 0-4 and Abuza, that's their first ship after, some tough losses last year, some series that were not close in grand finals. They pretty much controlled this one from the start. Sorry, Ray.
Chance final was close.
The chance final was tippable. That was cinema, but appreciate. They broke the curse in this one. They came out and they took map one and didn't look back after that. If you're Optic, I think the biggest thing to rue, and it's going to change now, but that ridiculous overtime on Scar Overload, that swing.
Oh, wait, let's go back and watch
win from
it.
FaZe was ended up being huge for the momentum in the series.
I do feel like Draza didn't get enough flowers for how well he played this entire event.
Oh, he was making plays, bro.
Dude, yeah, it was and it was
the exposures.
To me, Draza's this is more of a personal, I guess, mindset on him specifically as a player. I feel like he's always had a very, very high ceiling. I feel like he's always had some element of consistency issues through the games.
Sure.
But dude, when that guy is on, bro, he is undeniable, bro. And he has that delusional confidence in a player that you want to have on a championship team.
Yeah, he can go into a Sunday against 7,000 people and go, "No, I'm gonna beat the shit out of your team."
Yeah,
he blacks out in a good way. I'm not saying black out in a dumb way. This guy will literally forget life and just start getting his zone and just you can't take him out of it. It was beautiful to watch the entire event. All four of those guys had their moments. Even wasn't it the Lucius final where it was Abuza and 04 carry basically, right? That was we saw Simp, obviously Simp's undeniable, bro. Guys, it's so rare you see him have a bad performance. But I think him and Draws, I don't want to say struggle, but didn't play as well as they played for the rest of the event for that match. And then Abuza and 04 pulled him through, bro. This team is a complete team. And very much so deservingly winning. And this will not be the last time we see this final this season. No way.
I 100% agree. I think to the Draws point, when I at least from my perspective, when I watch them play and him specifically, he just makes a ton of really awesome plays, checking corners, pushing up. I remember the exposure where Abuza had 50 or whatever, and we were gassing up Abuza. I had remembered 6-7 times where I keep saying 6-7. Whatever, 5-6 times where Draza was pushed up solar, just peppering people left and right and being annoying so Abuza could find kills. I'm right there is the value of Draza and why he is such a good duo on a team. But there's on this map, and I would be curious to ask one of the FaZe guys, Rain Crowder, if they had a discussion about how to approach Overload against Optic. Because there were 3 times where they hard checked corners. Obviously the one in OT. There was one P2 on Shotzi, which I'm going to show. There's one P2 on Shotzi, and there's another one on the A point that Shotzi's on as well, where they just hard cleared back corners. And I'm this is something they talked about. And it forced Optic to play Overload a little bit more straight up, which we hadn't seen anybody really do to that point besides Riyadh, I guess, in the online match. And you could see how uncomfortable it made Optic. So I just thought they did a hell of a job because, Ray, as you know, it's difficult to play that way while also keeping pace. You know what I mean? It's hard to clear corners of shit while keeping pace. To balance that mentality in your head is super difficult.
You could argue that the play shots he made in the winners final on the Den when he was sitting back dojo corner and they ran by him and he got a 2-piece and got the ball scored. You remember that? There was I think it was a 1-score game, which was honestly, in my opinion, that was the highlight of that was the play of the tournament. That was extremely high IQ play accompanied with the skill set to get the 2-piece and then the realization that he had a score after that was incredible. But once you get that's a shock to the system as a player when a team does that to you, especially in that close game. Obviously after that, I think they were all wary of what corner players could be on. I'm pretty sure it was this map as well where, am I crazy? I think it was the second side where Ant was P2 area.
He was P2 in the corner. Draza peeks it.
Yeah, he was doing the same thing, and then they sniffed it out, which was actually a really good sniff out. But yeah,
it's right here, I think.
It's really cool to see the metagame into what goes on in the thought processes that you can kind of go through. And yeah, I would love to hear from the players to get their reactions and emotions based on those things. Cause I guarantee you, bro, when that happened in the winners final, they were we're not letting this fucking happen again. There's no way.
Bro, they checked every corner, dog.
If these guys are good at counting names, they're definitely, they are good at counting names. I know for a fact.
Right here. Look at this. Like this is
like
another one.
if
Draws.
Shotzi's the last guy we're accounting for, like, bro, we're looking at every corner possible.
I'll tell you what's going
this
through his
play
head right here. Look, we got map control. We got a guy in the base. 04's on spawn. He goes, hold up, bro. Where's Shotzi? Hold up, bro.
Yeah.
Where's Ant? Bang. Look at him, bro. Draws hits the UE, man. This guy makes so many plays, guys. You guys don't even understand, bro.
Yeah.
He makes so many plays, bro. That was
a huge play, yeah. Because that stops the push, basically. I mean, maybe not fully, because he might in that situation he probably gets traded unless he gets a crazy 2-piece. But yeah, no, it's just the level of COD we saw this event from the good matches to me was incredible to watch. I felt like we saw a lot of teams do the things that are conducive to winning. So it's a huge. It's a kind of a not a huge, but for the fans, I think it's extremely fun.
Look at this.
And good to know.
One more. I wanted to show one more. Look, bro. I'm telling you, they talked about this shit, bro. Look, Abuza's rapping back, balls mid. Look, Ant's up in his little corn. Bam, checked his ass. I'm telling you, they talked about it, bro. These plays, like, this is huge. If 2 kills Abuza here, he gets into blue or sits here, like, this is a goal, and potentially, like, they just rally.
Yeah.
I mean, like that.
Twin said he saw him.
Oh, you saw him? Okay, either way. Check in the corners, bro. Great plays. Wait, you saw him right here?
Yeah.
How'd you see him right here?
But those are, you might have saw him before that, maybe like Death Cam or something. But regardless, it's just the sense of like Optic is extremely good at taking space on the map. If you don't play this way against them, you will lose over a little more often than not. Like, because there's always a player trusting his team and taking a route on the side map that will eventually go to. And if you don't do that, then you will just give up kills where they matter. And Optic's extremely good at turning those into scores. So
final one for the Optic fans out there. This is another one. So you've seen, we showed you 3 of them so far. This is another one. You know the plays where Shotzi gets behind Ben, slides at the guy, kills the ball behind the enemy, and then scores. Look at Twin, bro. Twin's ready. Look, out of here. I'm telling you, bro, it wasn't going Optic's way. The plays, the lucky, or not lucky, the playmaking ability of Shotzi was mitigated by the preparation of FaZe. Better way to put it.
There you go.
Yeah, Optic still forced that team this map and it got crazy, but I don't think it was gonna work from FaZe.
I mean, that OT, like, I know everyone, I was gassing the living hell out of the sim corner check on Mercules in the OT. Like, I don't think people like, yeah, sure. Like, you could argue like you just got streak. You could argue you're going to look at every corner's coming out, but at the same time, given the moment, to have that level of composure and to read that like the way he did, and not only just it's not like he hard peeked it, like he just literally shouldered a corner to make sure. Like that shit is like, that's hard to teach, bro. Like,
nobody's doing this, bro.
Like, literally no one. I mean, I'm trying not to overgas it because people reacted like, yeah, right, that was not that. But to me, that was an incredible play.
Oh, this is the play of the tournament. Like, to me.
Well, Chris told me that he, at some point before this, Chris saw him cross playing and like they
saw him playing, yeah.
No, he saw him playing.
He just assumed that he was just gonna play some fucking exit cheese spot to try and like kill them.
That is so weird. I don't even like why would this cross your mind that he's here in OT? I don't. That's so weird to me. That's such a good play. I don't know. That's just the go.
Maybe it's happened to them in a past fucking match, or you just, it's just foreign IQ of like, he's going to try and fucking just like quick kill the ball guy and cap.
So
and,
when I saw him backstage, Ben, you know what he said? He said, it's just Simp versus Merc. What do you mean?
that's okay.
He goes, it's just Simp versus Merc. What do you mean? And just walked by. I'm like, that's the fucking goat. I was like, what the hell? I mean, it's just an awesome play, dude. I mean, so like for Optic here, we had a short conversation about it, me and Chance up on the desk, like right after it happened. That Chance is kind of like, like when they have the streak, like why don't they just kind of like use the streak and like hold map control, I guess, instead of like going for the score here. And I think the thought is, and I kind of agree with Optic, and I'll kick to you guys too. It's kind of like you want to have 2 opportunities. It's kind of like the end of a game of football. Like you're going to kick the field goal. If not, then you just go OT and play it from there, right? So I definitely like the use of everything and like still trying to go for the score. I think it just, when it comes down to the OT here, it's just tough. Like if Shotzi doesn't throw his life away, they probably win this OT, right? Like,
I mean, yeah, like we can, there's so many different parts of this like last 30 seconds in overtime that you could dissect to like make sense of who really should have won this round. It's obviously easy to look at from a outside perspective, but I do agree. I like to streak in the play to cap there because Blue's basically, there's no guarantee you're getting a cap if you streak in that situation, and it can make things weird. And it, again, in a sense where how much time was left? Was it like 15?
I mean, you give yourself 2 chances, right? Like you tried to score and then you streaked. Like I don't think it's the worst. I like giving yourself 2 opportunities personally. I do.
Yeah, that's fair. I just don't like. granted, the situation around ending on their side, they were always going to be in blue with the streak. So it's like, if you're going to streak, then you need to find a way to take advantage and push pace on the map. I was actually surprised they didn't go for 04 was already in mid shop whenever they streaked.
Yeah, like
I was actually surprised they didn't try to go overwhelm him while he was there, because they could have, like, the streak could have been just going top blue while they pushed out, and then they could have outnumbered in mid. But again, all these things are easy to talk about when you're outside looking in. Like, we have info on everything.
Yeah,
there could have been more than one. Like, it's easy to look at. Especially,
they didn't fly him, but they were challenging. If you watch the VOD back, like,
right,
but they're not like trying to ape him. Like
well, the problem is if Merc doesn't die here, like Simp makes the god play, then they probably ape him, right? You know what I mean?
We also don't see this, but a few teams have gotten burned recently with the, what's that thing called? The thing you can use to mute field. Like some FaZe players could have popped mute field.
That's a good point.
Mute field here, and you don't get all 4 on your mini map as a streaker. So you're like, well, I only see 3. I know where the last guy is, which could obviously cause some confusion as to what you can guarantee by moving forward with the streak. And we don't know if that's the case or not. But yeah,
we saw that happen online. Exon made a big play on an exposure P5 because of that. So.
It's so hard in this situation because go ahead, Ben, but they're just down numbers and like they have to spread. It's tough.
Yeah, and they catch Shimp loose there, but I just think this display from Ants just. I know you don't get to scrim this a lot, but it's just don't need to fly him.
I mean, the challenge is fine. It's just do it together. That's all it really is. Like, it's just,
well, Brandon had a nade, right? So like you could have like.
I mean, Brandon was reloading, I think, and then Ant shot while he's reloading. Like if Brandon's done reloading, he's looking over all Ant pushes. They get this kill. Like it's just simple as that. We can hindsight this a million ways, but like more often than not, that's going to be the conducive play. It's just there are these like tough moments in finals like this, bro. Like things happen, guys. Like it's so easy. And we've been there as players, bro. Like it's not easy to do these things consistently when the pressure's on in the moment. Like it's always blood's flowing. They just got to kill. They're like, oh shit, they might be running away. We might be able to kill. Ball guys on playing. Let me sound like Ant's probably thinking that this guy's alone.
It could be Deli. There could be a guy Deli too. Like he's tweaking, right? Like it's OT, so you kind of like. You got to have somebody everywhere. Right, so you see like Hook's not in the play. So in Ant's head, he's like, fuck, I'm on an island. What can I control? Pistol guy with the ball. Maybe I just go rip this guy. Like I like get the thought process. Like right after Dashy kills the guy here, he's like balls by himself. Right. So like I understand like why he does this. Like it's not
sometimes
not the worst.
Players chow 3v2. Sometimes players start 0-10 in finals. And you never know, right?
That's true. But yeah, like Ben, pulse check on the venue. Like after this moment, pin drop, wasn't it? Like it like the venue
on the Jumpmates fans, on the Jumpmates fans, and some of the FaZe fans. Jumpmates fans were cheering for FaZe all the time. Like, which is interesting because Abuza also said some stuff about French guys the series before. But yeah, I mean, I think the Optic fans were a little bit stunned that they were down 1-2 in this, and then I think they saw the triple exposure. The only other series that Optic had lost coming in this was against Falcons, where they lost the exposure hardpoint and exposure S&D. So people were feeling a little nervous, I think, at that point. And I think the Optic players a little bit too. Like again, I just feel like I don't know. I don't want to super body language expert, but whenever they cut to shots of the guys, it just seemed like they were a little bit frustrated. And when you get frustrated, you start getting away from your system. You start making plays not in rhythm, and it just kind of got away from them.
They were just pulling up the back button. They saw Twin 50 EKA. They said, "What? What's going on here?" 04 Soup and but yeah, awesome final. I think despite it being a 4-1, it was competitive. Yeah, what's up?
Can I say one thing to the stupid morons on the internet?
Yeah,
we've watched them scrim Optic online, and 04 also kind of low key did this in one of the scrims we watched. So like, it's not like 04 had an insane series. Don't get me wrong, it deserved MVP. But like, let's not act like this like hasn't happened before, like in practice. I know that when these two teams have scrimmed, it's been pretty close and like this, you know what I'm saying? So like there was signs coming into this that FaZe, I know obviously they have a bit more to gain because 2 of their players are still looking for one on the board, but they've also played Optic well on the run of coming in this last month or so in scrims.
Yeah, I mean, we heard this from a lot of the players and the Optic players as well. Like Ian was saying this, like they're the team they expected to see in the finals. They're not just going to give gas in our team for random reasons. 2 more things I want to bring up. One that we forgot earlier. just what I was joking about Ant, that 0-10 thing. When me and Ant played COD Champs Final and Ghost, I had a rough start this year.
It started 0-10. It's all good.
Started 0-10. It was a tough one. But did we not see Abe go 1-15 and then come back in the map?
Yeah, he was getting hip tossed.
That was
terrible.
That has to be the most insane like reversal, because he started doing well after that. Like, I mean,
he did.
Like, granted from where he stood, but like, bro, he went positive versus the map after that, and they came back, and I think that was the FaZe one, if I'm not mistaken.
Ben,
right?
question for both of you guys on the Abe talk. Why is he better with an AR than a sub right now?
The AR's just good gun, bro.
He's just not running. He's not a fast SMG player.
He's
right
not.
Now. Like, if you look at engagement numbers, if you just look at a lot of the like stats you expect to judge pace, like he's not a top 1/3 percentile, top 10% percentile compared to other people that like would prototype that role. So I think it is a little bit of their problem. Like, there are times where I think he's going to need to build pep in his step again. And I will say also, he had this issue on FaZe last year. And I know I got like a lot of criticism for my Abe comments, but it was talking about this specific issue at times that like he's just like, he has his expectation that like in the past he's been a fast sub, and he has, but like I don't know what happened during last year. He just slowed down.
Yo, listen, I just gotta say, a couple of your takes have aged really well. I'll just put that out there.
Thank you.
That's all I'm gonna say.
People got to put respect on my name. It's all good.
I mean, I do. I will.
Never wrong, just early. Never wrong, just early. Word of pep. Right?
Y'all give him a lot of shit on social media and stuff. A lot of Ben's takes have aged really well. If he wanted a victory lap,
deserved though.
Good.
Some of it was deserved. My breakfast photo, that was a good bait. Fucking, I got cooked.
Oh my god, Ben.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. 3 donuts, and he said
engagement farm. Right?
But the Abe thing is, look, I think Abe can figure it out, because at times he saw it. I just think he needs to find that back consistently for them. And I think one thing I will give Abe credit for this weekend is he was like a lot more impactful in S&D. Like the same level we were seeing.
He just needs to
online, like getting
put
bloods.
the AR away, bro. Just use a sub only until you're fucking demon again.
The other thing I was gonna say that relates to the finals. Can my boy Ant? I know this was content piece, and it probably was a joking thing, but you guys saw the video of Ant calling FaZe trash, right? The
trash thing. Yeah.
Like, bro, every time Ant, joking or not, every time fucking Ant says something like that, it comes back to bite him in the ass. And I love my brother Ant. I know it's all jokes. I know there's nothing serious there, but like, holy shit, brother, we gotta stop.
Every time, bro, it backfires every time, bro. Oh man, no, dude, it's really awesome. Like the teams, like on the top end of things, the Call of Duty that we're getting to watch. Like the Call of Duty, we got to watch out of FaZe and Optic in that grand final, despite it being a 4-1. The button I was going to put on it was that was high level COD, bro. Like really good from both sides. Optic got outslayed by 1 trillion, and we're barely lost, dude.
Basically, yeah. No, it's definitely setting up for some crazy stuff happening. I'm really excited to see the minor. Actually, bro, we talked about this in previous shows about the LAN aspect, but like, if the minor finals are like 2-3 Texas teams that are last, they can not just LAN it up for that. I feel like they should, bro.
Well, they could.
So I had talked with Daniel. So a couple of things. I had talked with Daniel during the watch party. He was not really. I was like, well, what if you just play you get to top 8 in the minors and you play that on LAN? And he's like, well, but then like teams have to figure out travel. I'm like, yeah, they have to figure out travel, but then you would have matches that mean more and people are going to care. And like, mainly the problem with the minors is just, it just feels like more online COD. Like, it doesn't feel different.
I think EE could set up a stage inside our new studio. I'm not going to speak on behalf of them.
There's plenty of space in there.
I think they could get that shit done in a weekend, bro. So
yeah, that's some of the teams in that studio.
If there's any team watching, Paul, if you're watching, Hector, and you guys see this, bro, reach out to the league and see if y'all could do it, because you guys will probably be 2 teams there in the Final Four. See if you can do the minor finals in the studio. That would be incredible, bro. What?
I mean, Optic's got a room with the proper size to do it, where you can place cams and get the face cams in.
Come to Columbus, bro. Come over here. We got a studio.
I mean, I'm down for that. I mean, it's just going to require teams to travel, but that's not an unsolvable fucking problem. That's solvable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not an unsolvable problem. It's not as much money as you think, as long as, and I think Activision don't want to do it, but there's plenty of budget rearranging they can do to like subsidize a little bit of the T&E costs. Like it's to me, it's solvable, and I think it would make for a better season where you have these more LAN activity with more studio lands and you still get your 4 majors and
Because,
champs. So,
bro,
like, we're getting lands a month.
LAN COD is way different, bruh.
Way different.
Like it's, if you guys just watch these teams play all 11 other teams, there was so much online. That shit is way different, dude. Like, we have to find a way. We have to find a way to get these guys. Kayson's in chat, bro. Kayson, come on, bro. You gotta be a vocal voice out there. You gotta get these guys on LAN more often.
Yeah. Yeah. FaZe got the space. I know the tough thing for FaZe is we're getting to like where so I think there's a couple of NACS events. So I won't be surprised if like we get some boot camp space, but Optic for sure have room. Like, and I know for a fact, cause I talked to Optic, like that time I made that tweet, like they were seriously considering about actually playing the match against Thieves on LAN.
Really?
Like, they were actually thinking about it.
Well, that would be incredible.
So I think it will happen sooner rather than later in some circumstance.
I don't see how that would be bad for League in any way if teams agreed to just play in person.
Not at all.
Like,
we send a camera op out.
Lead time to set everything up.
We send some PTZ. We could send some PTZs out there. Have that sent straight back to the studio, and bam, we got it all, bro. We got the player camp set up, bro. It would be, first of all, it would the show would be incredible. Second of all, the matches would be way better. Like, the difference between the LAN matches, like, it's night and day, bro. In the plays you make, like, they just hit harder. It's fucking epic. And
I'm gonna say this even further for Optic. Like, that's the same room. The room they were doing is the same room where their watch party is. So like and I know they probably get in trouble, but if I were them, I would just do it and ask for forgiveness later. Like, give those teams play, and then you can get like literally do mid-series, post-series interviews. Like, you get a lot of like good content out of it if they're playing Thieves or Optic or Falcons or whoever. So
yeah, dude, COD is so lit right now, man. All these new maps coming in. Hopefully we so I did learn that I mean, we really wanted to force meta change. We could just ban guns. I've been hard pushing for that. I really want, if the pros don't want to change guns, then we just need to ban the M15 straight up, dog. That's kind of my take. But hopefully we get new weapons. We're definitely getting new maps. And we got a different format this next split coming into the Pro-Am.
Are we going to get some new teams? That's probably where we should finish.
That's where we're going.
Who is going? Yeah, W sec right now. Who is going to make a change? How many do we think?
we can agree. Optic's not making a change. FaZe not making a change. Jailmates would assume not.
Well, Boston already for sure is.
Yeah. So then
Surge maybe, and then I'm assuming Poison probably.
I think Carolina should probably look at potentially some options.
You said Poison?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm assuming. Well, I would think Carolina would maybe make a change. And my boy,
that's where you're going. Okay,
my boy, not because of that, but I do think that they should. I do think they should entertain making a change. Just because I think Lurks is super good. I think Craze has another gear he could get to. I thought their outing wasn't the worst, and I think exceeds like the leader of that team. And when he joined, they were like 12th in the league, and then they turned it around. And I think Nero's a bit inconsistent. So if they get a little bit more of a consistent player in there, I think Carolina would be a good team. So Mr. Poison will have a lot of extra time if they do make that change, but I don't know who they go get.
Mr. Poison. I think the Boston one's really interesting because obviously the news came out yesterday via Ronnie over at Breaking Point that Omit's getting involved now. We're going to be taking over the day-to-day at Boston with an eye on some longer-term stuff.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about that.
Season. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. We knew that Stupid Purge were probably going to get dropped on this team, but are we going to see some of the Omit players like an Asim or a Real or a Luca come back? Like, what direction is Omit going to go to try and bring in some challengers talent to like get the best out of Spar, get the best out of Nasty?
So Ben, you tell me, because my thoughts is this is a good thing. This is a good thing that Rafi and Omid are controlling, I guess, the operations of Boston. Should be like a pretty good thing, right? Okay. So
I mean, it's just a level step up though. Like a lot of the stuff that they've done, like I'm just curious what they've done in challengers is they're very aggressive in identifying U18 players and signing either futures contract or actual contracts. And then there have been years where they've had multiple teams. This year they've had one for the most part. And like generally it's worked. This year, unfortunately for Omit, has been a bit disappointing that their teams haven't really shown either in the elites or outside of a couple of clubs at events like that they can reach their talent. So it's just gonna be difficult because can they put together a team that can maybe outperform Vancouver and like start to make some inroads towards the champs qualification. But like, are they going to put together a squad that's getting top 4? I mean,
Yeah, it's hard.
we'll see.
It's hard for anybody to do. The other squad that's getting top 4, but I think it should be generally a good thing. Boston were kind of really slow to make roster changes in general when their teams are underperforming. But hopefully they just off the rip make a better team here. So what are we thinking? So obviously Nasty, Spart. Okay, who's even like on the docket? Like who? Because what I heard is, you correct me if I'm wrong here, Ben, but a lot of the Saudi guys, like they don't want to go pro, right? That's like the rumor that I've been hearing. Is like they just want to stay in challengers. Like
Yeah, I'm not really sure about that one. The other problem too is those guys don't speak perfect English, so as correct as they are, you're gonna run into the issue a bit that like say a Falcons has had. Like you're gonna play very inefficient COD, you get to an event, and like if people aren't getting kills, it's just the comms aren't there to play a structure. I'm just I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of people that played well at this tournament this weekend. If we want to talk about like not people that have really been pros before, like the Stallions guys got third. They really showed out. Like Manny in particular had a really, really good event.
Yeah.
Like so you can go down that direction. They could go for some Bush players. They could go for like, like some of the players they had on roster this split.
Real and Afro maybe. Real's got to get picked up like this week, right?
Real's for sure getting on team this week. We just gotta see what it is.
If you're Carolina, guys, what do you do? Because I mentioned like maybe swapping out Nero. Do you guys keep that team, or do you go and try to find somebody? And if so, like who? Let me kick it to you, Ray.
It's tough. I think simply just for the reason of where they are in the standings. Like unless you're guaranteed getting a comeback, like unless you're guaranteed getting a player that you feel is going to succeed or help your team succeed more than they already are right away. Like they're what 15 points behind Riyadh right now, which is the line to make champs. Like that's that's what this team. I mean, that's what the bottom 4 teams are obviously playing for at this point, right? Like everything that's close to that bar is playing to try and get into champs. Toronto just passed that bar this weekend.
It's not that bad.
They play. And yeah, don't Carolina have, was it Thieves?
It's not that bad. They got C9 Surge, and you just got to win one more upset in your winner's bracket. Gotta get one upset.
Playing FaZe just won the event. Thieves are in, and Paris.
You just got to get one upset.
Yeah, but remember, we're going this pro-am format. You go 2 and 3, like it's gonna be tough, but you'll be like,
you got to get one upset. You should have to win one good game, Ben. Like
well,
they got
the pro format. No, you're right. But the minors seeding is based on previous, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't affect your seed for the major. The minor.
Every time I keep asking for people to know how the seeding works, no one seems to have it, which is very annoying. I don't know why the league doesn't post their handbook online. You would think.
Well, last year it was literally like, I think the minor we had in, what was it, Major 3, I believe, was like the seeding was like locked after Major 1 or something like that, which was like super surprising to hear. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, if it's right now, it would be Optic and FaZe at the buys, and then
wasn't it 4? I thought it was 4 teams have buys, and then everyone else plays each other. No,
I think you might be right. Am I remembering? Single limb, yeah. I think you're right.
Pretty sure 4 teams.
It goes from 12 to 8. Yeah.
Correct.
So Optic, FaZe, General Mates, and Thieves would be your those teams.
Wait, what? No, this is the minor from last year, so I don't see any buys. The 4 teams is
buys.
You'll FaZe had a buy. So
FaZe, there is 4 buys.
FaZe, Ultra, Thieves, and Ravens had buys, and then every team before that played to get into that match. So, so right now it would be like G2, Cloud9, Miami, Boston, Toronto, Vancouver, and Riyadh, Carolina would be the matches in the first round, and those teams will play the winners or the teams that got buys. So but regardless, I don't know, like the roster change, and this is where we talked about roster changes at the start, like before the last major started, like our post major 1 conversations.
Yeah,
like I don't want to say it's too late, but it's like this is where it gets sketchy, bro. Because if you make a change that makes you worse, you are literally you're screwed. Like you don't really have time to pivot. Sorry.
Like Carolina last year when they picked up Dylan Rex.
Yeah, basically, yeah. No, it's It's a tough place to be in for them. If you feel like there's a change you're going to make is guarantee. There's never a guarantee making better, but if a change you make is you're estimating that will have a very high likelihood that you'll be better from, then yeah, I would say go for it. But again, I just don't think there's any players in challenge right now that are necessarily guaranteed. Like is Riyadh the most coveted player from a pro standpoint in challenger right now?
Yeah, whenever the ex-pros start running shit in challengers is when it's just kind of like, I don't know.
Well, here's what I'll say.
Really
we have a pretty big.
Afro
gap.
just literally had his way with challengers and beans, so yeah, kinda.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Listen, boys, there's a pretty big gap to the next set of matches. Teams have plenty of time to trial players and really get a feel for who's out there, who's a good fit. And so let's see how they all conduct that process.
Wait, does Carolina get better with beans, Ben, than Nero, or no? Am I faded here for thinking this?
Depends on what version of Ben you get. Like, I love Ben, but he's just like, it's like either he joins a team and he's going to respawn, he can't win searches, or he joins a team and he's great in S&D and he can't win respawns. Like, I want to see Ben join a team and just be like a consistent player. And it seems like at times maybe he just wears his emotions on his sleeve and maybe it does affect some of his gameplay at times. But like, Ben is good. I just want to see him show his skills like more consistently at the pro level.
Yeah, I hear you. I agree with that for sure. He's definitely been super like up and down. He's had his moments. I do like Exceed. I really like Lurks, and I think Craze is a solid player as well. So I just think that team has another gear to get to. Who knows what they'll end up doing? But they got to figure it out. But anyways, I think it's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Actually, one more thing, just for the Lurks standpoint, because Lurks I want to give that guy some flowers here because he's been incredible on the stage. If you had to pick, just for you two, and maybe chat too, let's see what chat comes up with some good answers. If you had to pick one team, Lurks gets traded 1-for-1 to any team. No, there's no restrictions. Don't worry about contract, salaries, anything. Where does Lurks better fit in the league right now?
You set me up.
Okay.
You really want me to answer this?
Let's go. Right?
Yeah, go first.
If Lurks was on LA Thieves for a BZ, they'd be fucking running shit.
That's what I was gonna say. I love Abe. I think it's a tough fill with Paco. I think Lurks pushes P, and I think they would get better.
Bro, Lurks is so turned. I've usually kind of waited a while to like show rookies their love. I think that kid is unreal, bro.
No, he's gross.
He's hit a huge stage. I will say Falcons have gotten back-to-back top 8s. If there's anybody in the league who is going to just management lose composure and start throwing around coin to buy somebody out mid-stage, that'd be a Falcons team.
I mean, he makes a lot of teams better, bro. Like, yeah,
no, a lot. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean, there's not really a bad answer to that. Honestly, you could probably trade someone. Almost every team has a player you could probably trade out for him right now, just with how well he's playing.
It's like
that's actually interesting. What Ben, I'm sorry to keep the show going, but like what Ben said is interesting to me because if any team has the capability, because we haven't really seen any mid-season player trades, like it's never happened. Like if a team were gonna
tried with Vancouver, I mean, this is. Were you on the team for this? With the AG thing, were you on?
I was on Optic. I was on Optic side of things for that. I was the one I was trying to deal that in, but it wasn't really. That was a different scenario to me. I'm more so speaking of a sense of like right now, like let's say Falcons wanted to make a trade for a player that's actively playing. I mean, I guess it was kind of similar actually when you think about it.
Yeah,
it was a player that wasn't wanting anymore, and then it's fair.
Wasn't the asking price like ridiculous?
Is astronomical, but. If we're gonna say anything from again, like Ben said, like Riyadh would be the team that probably had to guess would be willing to do it if they knew it was going to make them better. Like, would they actually go for it?
Wait,
we might see this. Like,
question:
No, go ahead.
I was going to ask you this, Ben. When it gets like, why have we not seen this yet? When it gets like late in the season, where it's like I don't know, like stage 3 late, and like your team's looking like you're not going to make champs. Why would you not like deal your player?
Mm-hmm. Especially if you're going to lose that player in the offseason.
Yeah.
I think that's more
the management. The very simple explanation, which is management is down. Like this isn't like.
Okay. Yeah. Fair.
They don't play this like you would if you were like an NHL team or an NBA team that's tanking and you're just going to like flip that for. Well, the problem is the only asset you can flip for is cash. There's no draft picks. You know what I'm saying?
Funny,
you can't get.
Funny answer, but it's true. Probably. Yeah. It's bad.
It's just like they sit here and like, for example, like Carolina probably is like, well, Like, I assume Lurks can sign a 1-year deal. If someone wants to buy him out, we definitely want to pick him up next year and build a team around him. It's like, now we just fucking don't have that option. It's like, it's tough to pick up a trade for a promising player. It's going to require a lot of coin. And I don't know if these teams are willing to pay like a high 5 to 6 figure buyout.
But like, if you're going to sign a player like Lurks, I like
an astronomical asking price.
Realistically, Ben, you could probably sign him for cheaper in a trade deal like this, because you would have some leverage of like, you're coming to a better team for the rest of this year, rather than if he was just completely unrestricted in an off season.
Yeah, but
so realistically, there's incentive.
You got to hope the player. The reason trades don't happen is like it all has to line up. Like the people got to be down for the transaction on both sides, and the players got to be down to switch teams. Like, it's just, yeah, you could probably ram it through and just tell the player to go shove it. I don't think it's the right way to do business, but you could do that. I just think it's just hard. It's just hard to those player for player swaps.
But wouldn't it would make sense on both sides though? Like, if Carolina are shitting it at, like, by the end of this like minor or whatever, it's like, and he's on a 1 year, it makes sense for both, and it would make sense for Lurks not to ask for like as rich of a deal, because he's getting to go to another team mid-season that has a better chance.
Yeah, but if you're Abe,
winning.
it's like,
So you get him on a better favorable contract.
It's like, do you want to go to Carolina? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's yeah, for Lurks it's great. For the player going the other way,
Does he have a say in the matter?
Team that's been. I mean, it depends on how you conduct business as an org. You could tell the player to shove it, but then I just don't think that's.
But also, a lot of these guys have no trade deals in their contracts. Like a lot of the OG contracts have no trade deals. So if they do have a no trade deal, then the player has to agree to waive it. Which, again, like if it was 2 top teams trading 1-for-1, then you could see it. But if it's a team that's struggling and a team that isn't, then which honestly will be the most cases you see, there's just not enough teams in the league to really warrant something like that yet, I think.
Well, then you do it in a
business plan. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I guess. Unless the other team, like Carolina, for example, is just like, we'll go to challengers and get somebody and focus on this offseason, then you just release, if in this hypothetical of easy, which you get picked up by somebody almost assuredly. So there's like ways to do it.
Here. Let me put a color here to people understanding how Carolina is going to conduct business, and they have been conducting business the last couple of years. They're not trying, like, I don't think they see a long term because of who owns this team. It's like Napster. It's a bunch of crypto people. It's a weird chain of ownership. But I don't think that they want to just walk away and hold a loss. Like, they want to exit and at least break even on the spend from the last couple of years. So, like, if someone wanted to come calling for Lurks this year, they would try and take them to the coals on a transfer price, assuming that he's locked on a multi-year, which I would be shocked. They signed Lurks to a 1-year deal. That would be pretty poor business.
You would assume 1+1 is what you'd assume.
Yeah, which they would 100% take the option on. So,
all right,
it's a lot of tough dictates.
Regards to that, Carolina can be good. Like, if they really, like, if their org actually wants to like do something, they find the right player. Like, I'm telling you, that team could be pretty good, bro. It's not
agreed.
I think
they could qualify for champs.
Yeah,
they could qualify for champs. We'll see. We'll see if they get involved in what we expect.
It's gonna be tough
for the active roster mania.
It's gonna be tough because I mean, again, they're like battling with the 2 teams in front of them right now are fucking Riyadh, the Falcones, and the Toronto team. So,
Toronto figuring their shit out really hurts Carolina.
Yeah, and then Falcons have looked great previous to their land matches. So.
And guys, I just got to say it because you never know roster mania. Gentlemates and Thieves. Do they want to keep it going? Do they see progress? I think Thieves probably do, but Gentlemates, not to keep betting a dead horse, but they have now lost, 9 of their last 11 games or something like that? Like, they are in a very poor vein of form right now, and I don't know if they want to keep trotting this out here.
We didn't talk that much about Gentlemates just because we only have like so much time, but we'll talk more about Gentlemates next week. But yeah, guys, thank you guys for tuning in, man.
Last match of FaZe and Optic is last match of the stage for both FaZe and Optic are against each other, so we'll see the rematch.
That's a banger.
Major 3, yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, it is. Where is it? Yeah, right there.
I don't know if it's the last match on the schedule. Is it the last match on the schedule?
No, it's the last weekend.
No, it's Saturday.
I know it's the last weekend, but yeah.
But I'm gonna say this again, bro. Like, and I'm begging the league, and I asked Daniel, and I just got kind of a non-answer. Like, yo, please, I'm begging. Once you get to the last 2 weeks of these stages, like, please start moving matches around and make better match days. Like, it's like, I get it. Like, they want to try and put the European-based teams that have European fan bases early on, like in the day, so they tune in. Like I get it, but like there are some obvious things they can hold that standard, but still make some obvious tweaks to the schedule. And I assume the reason they don't want to do it is they don't want to get blowback from teams. But fuck them. Like I think respectfully, the league has a priority to, especially as we get towards stage 3 and stage 4, where we know online viewership is gonna be low, try and drive an extra 5 or 7% by flexing matches. There's a reason the NFL does it. There's a reason the NBA does it. The reason Major League Baseball does it.
Yeah,
you know
we got to be able to flex. I agree. Ben, so there's before I end this episode,
college football does it, by the way. Just one more thing. If you follow college football, you know in the SEC and the Big Ten, they don't announce kickoff times 2 weeks in advance once you get to the conference games at the back end of the schedule. They literally sit there and try and curate the schedule. So,
Ben, I need you to apologize to 04 as we end this episode.
For what?
I just want you to look at what's on the screen, and it's been a great episode. We covered, I think, almost everything. We showed Twin some love, but I need an apology here to 04.
I mean, listen, my apology is that, I was saying the last couple of weeks, I'm like, 04's having a tough online stage. If he goes to this event, doesn't fry, what is this FaZe team going to do? Like, are they playing their standard? They want to make a change.
I guess we'll never know. 04 is
04
him.
04 fucking Cam Newton style said, I bet. And he was showing some absolute pace online coming into this. And then had one of the best final performances I've ever seen, dropping a 1-4. So shout out to fucking Twin.
Remembers the Yay Grammy where he's like, I wonder if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know. That's what 04 said to everybody. Black guy is the MVP. Twin. Not many people got an MVP. Gotta show you your love. They could all shut up now. And yeah, that'll do it, guys. Thank you for showing love. This episode is a lot of fun. I'm gonna upload this immediately. Ben and Ray, appreciate you guys. Fantastic episode as always. Ben, I hope you get better ASAP, brother.
I feel much better by the end of this show. I'll tell you that.
Me too.
If both of you do. Both of you need to, just get through this, bro. We'll be back next week.
Absolutely.
Later, boys.
Later. Leave a like, guys. He was sliding. Can we gas up our casters, bro?
Let me see your stream. Hold on.
I tweeted yesterday. Listen to Joe.
Let me see.
He's fucking sliding, bro. He's levitating. He's fucking sliding, bro. He's levitating.
Right here, they want to put this away. Who's gonna find one? Shots is gonna try to get involved. 8 seconds before OT. Should be sudden death. EMP's picked up. Hook is here, and Hook almost sneaks on through. Overtime.
Dude, Joe's so low.
I missed something.
Watch your broken.
I didn't know they spawned behind us, dude. Fuck.
Scurrying away. They might be able to isolate 04 out mid-map. The rest are going to group up inside of Blue. Trying to find Angle B Mercules. Looking for the opening, getting tucked in behind Blue. Simpton is check this. He's fucking unbelievable. Check. Are you kidding? The human UAV does it again. Now FaZe can switch this up. They have EMP control. So 90 seconds. You have the life advantage plus EMP control. Okay, yeah, just have the EMP.
Get out of there, Twin.
Things get real interesting now.
Get out of there, Twin.
Down the shots in. Shotzi's gonna go. He's gonna drop.
Chat did not like that. First, the crowd didn't like that.
God, I got a fucking ad. God damn it.
First, the crowd didn't like that.
God, I got a fucking ad. God damn it.
EMP control for FaZe. They will win. Optic know this. They have
Do
to
you
hunt
guys
down
hear Joe
before that
DeLuca?
minute gets to 0.
Yeah.
Nah, it's Tibble
teammates.
from Joe. Tibble from Joe. Good calls.
I don't know. I was scrolling the time last night. I saw this clip and I just was like, dude, Joe is so locked.
Right.
I don't know. This
Good
is
call.
what I do. So that was just tippable. I wanted you guys to share that with you guys. But yeah, that'll do it. Appreciate everybody, man. Much love. Catch you guys in the next one. Ben, you staying on?
I'm about to get off. I'm gonna go raid Chris. I feel like fucking ass.
All
Yeah,
right.
me
I gotta
too.
go be baby daddy.
All right. Enjoy, boys.
Catch you guys later. GG's.
Enjoy. Peace
All
out.
right, later,
fellas.
guys.
Peace.
All right, Chad. Short stream today. I feel like absolute fucking horse manure. We'll be back live again. I'm gonna try and be live tomorrow. Hopefully, I feel better. If not, it'll be Friday. But we're gonna get some streams in. We're assuming some roster mania news is coming soon. We're gonna do a flank tier list episode at some point. But I've sent you guys over to Mr. Christopher Duarte. Go show some love. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It was a great show today. Shout out to subs and resubs. If you missed the show, it'll be on YouTube in a bit. Peace.